Hey everybody! Here we are.
We're here.
With kids on bikes. We're getting ready to play, and I'm hot actually right now.
Are you nervous? Are you nervous, Bobby?
I'm not nervous. I'm just always stressed whenever I whenever I stream something.
Fair enough.
You guys know.
Fair enough.
Everybody knows.
Oh, I feel you.
It's no secret that I'm a stress-addled basket case.
All right. Well, take a deep breath.
Yeah.
We're on the air. Here we go.
Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Everything's great. We are really excited to be playing Kids on Bikes. I think we're gonna start off with just introducing ourselves. I'm Scrim. I'm gonna be the GM for this. We're running 4 sessions. Yeah, let the rest of you say a little bit about yourselves. Let's start with Palmer.
Oh, me. Okay. I am Palmer. I will be playing the character of Billy. And that is all I have to say about that.
Cassie.
Hi, I'm Cassie from Original Box Set and a few other places, and I will be playing Dahlia.
Bobby.
Hey, my name's Bobby from the Shadowcasters Network and some other places. But I'm gonna be playing Zane, the oldest kid in this group. And yeah, I'm a high school kid, so
Oldest and most mature, I think.
oldest
Yes.
and most mature, and definitely the best looking.
So we've had a really good time putting these characters together. You're going to be joining us for Kids on Bikes, which is an RPG that is set before you could easily contact people via cell phone, text message, etc. So usually somewhere between the like 60s and mid to late 90s. We are set in 1994, we're going to try to get a little bit of a sense of the town of Middle Grape, Ontario, which is where we will be playing. We're just gonna pan over the beautiful vista of Middle Grape. It's in the Canadian Shield, so you see quite a lot of trees, some rocky patches, plenty of little lakes, and amidst other larger lakes. It is probably early December. There's snow falling. We pan over top of a very small airstrip. Next to this airstrip is a short tower. So it's just got basically stairs going up, and then a small circular room with windows along the sides. And we zoom in to this room, and we see a middle-aged woman. She's maybe about 45. She is the only person in the room. She's leaning back in her chair, and she's got her feet up next to an array of equipment. She has a backpack next to her with the name Barbara written on it. And she's reading K is for Killer. It looks like a new book. And she's engrossed. She flips a page and gasps, "No!" And a smile spreads across her face. "Oh, that bastard!" And she dives back into the book, grinning, with her hand to her mouth. She's totally engrossed with this book. She adjusts the zipper on her coat. It's a little bit cold in this room. And she leans over absent-mindedly to turn up the radiator. It glows red, warming the small wood-paneled room. There's a gray metal box on the counter, and it crackles, and the radio comes to life. "This is Alpha Charlie 8526, heavy, complete loss of guidance, requesting emergency landing." Barbara drops her book. Her jaw drops as she looks at the radio. She leaps to her feet and scrambles for the receiver. Roger, Alpha Charlie 8526, heavy. Emergency acknowledged. Be aware, runway is short for heavy. Runway's clear. There's a hesitation and another crackle. Alpha Charlie 8526 copies. Short for heavy. Thank you. Please have emergency trucks on standby. Barbara swallows and looks out at this abandoned, it looks like a snowy field at this point. Her eyes are wide and she puts a hand to her forehead. Alpha Charlie 8526, you're going to hit the trees. The radio crackles, and for a moment, the room dims. Barbara's instruments max out, lights are blinking madly. The hiss of the radio materializes into a voice. Repeat, coming in for landing, clear all space adjacent to the runway. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. She looks up and piercing through the overcast sky, a tiny 737 begins its descent steadily towards the runway. Shit! She scrambles out the door and thunders down the stairs of the small tower, emerging into a curtain of thick, wafting snowflakes. She sprints away from the runway toward the trees, lifting her knees to clear the deep snow, her book abandoned behind her. Watching through the bare branches of a maple, she sees as this massive plane quietly descends. It wobbles slightly as it clears the trees, then touches down with only 3/4 of the runway remaining. The right wing clips the top of her control tower, ripping off a portion of the roof and crumpling a wall. She lets out a shout. The brakes scream and the plane wavers down the strip, reaching the trees that line the area, snapping them like sticks. She leaps toward the runway as it surfs above the massive trees with loud cracks and snaps. Oh my gosh, she breathes as the plane continues to slow. Oh my god. I think they made it. The cracking grows quieter, and the world seems to slow as the plane drifts over the trees. All sound fades into silence, and the plane is enveloped in a blinding purple flash. Barbara shouts and shields her eyes. The silent explosion is chased with distant screams and the sound of blood rushing into Barbara's ears. Between her fingers, she looks toward the awkwardly angled plane nestled between the trees, and her jaw drops. Just in front of the wings is a diagonal slice, glowing purple, and the nose of the plane is gone. Unbalanced, the airliner starts to slip backwards, and the screams intensify. Now, at this time, this is quite a distance away from the rest of the town. It's mid-morning, and mid-morning for Zane Bouchard is English class. Zane is sitting in class next to his partner on their final project. This is the final project of the semester. And Zane, unfortunately, you've had to repeat grade 11 English. So you're sitting here with 15-year-old Amanda. Amanda is she's a little bit different. She's new to the town. She moved in here in September. And she is from Toronto. And I'm not sure what Zane's relationship would be to her. She doesn't fit in with the other girls and probably is not high on the cool list. How would Zane feel about a girl like this?
Well, Zane, being a couple years older, he's 17, and is definitely firmly seated in the cool crowd at this school, and he probably he's not like a jerk or anything, but he definitely probably finds being partnered with someone new to town and so much younger than him like a couple grades lower than him, or a grade lower than him, is finds it to be a little bit of a nuisance.
Okay.
You know, he's just like, okay, can we just get this project over with? That kind of an attitude, you know. I just want to get a passing grade, so I can move on.
I think chat can help us out here. I wanna get a suggestion of what this assignment is. Whatever it is, Amanda's not terribly interested. She's wearing a plaid skirt. She's got a loose button-up shirt and a tie and like a big loose cardigan, black rimmed eyes, dark lipstick, and she's kind of not really paying attention, maybe playing with a pencil. And this is kind of you're very behind on this assignment.
Okay, look, what was her name? Amanda.
Amanda.
Yeah, Amanda. I know we just have to get this done. All right. I need to get a good grade on this. I got a lot riding on getting through this class and particularly this project in this moment in time. So I don't want to be here. You don't want to. Clearly, you don't want to be here. But can we just like get the gears moving? Can we just like get this done?
She has her hands in her desk. You have like those desks that have like a pocket inside them.
Right. Yeah.
And she seems like really distracted, and she looks up and she goes, "Sorry, what?"
Okay. Let's see.
You got like 5 minutes left in class.
We've got to make some headway on this project before the bell rings, or this. Maybe we should have a quick brainstorm session or something. Maybe we should have something of a rough draft to be able to turn in so that we have something to show and get moving. Amanda.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And she picks up let's say it's Moby Dick. You're doing some kind of novel study on Moby Dick, and you have to do a presentation on it like next Monday.
Good Lord.
And she's gross. And she kind of like picks it up and flips through it and says, well, I think, and as she says that, the buzzer goes. The bell goes, and your teacher, Mr. Forsyth, he says, "Okay, everybody, if you haven't finished this needs to be done this weekend. Okay, get together with your group and bring something amazing on Monday. This is going to be lots of fun."
Okay, so Amanda, maybe you don't get it, but what I'm hearing right now is we need to have an out-of-school sesh on this, okay? That means you're coming over to my place after school. We're going to get something done, okay? Can you handle that?
Yes, I can handle that.
All right.
God, I'm not a child.
Yeah, well, prove it.
Well, I guess you have a ton of experience with this since you've already done grade 11 English.
Good one. All right, I'll see you after school today at 4:00 at my house. Do you know where I live? Yes.
And she grabs her books and kind of stomps out. And she you see her perpetual sidekick buddy, the person she's always hanging out with, is her cousin Kirsten, who she lives with since she moved from Ontario.
Is Kirsten? How does she stand in the social hierarchy in this town?
I think Kirsten's a little bit of a nerd, but which is not okay in the 90s. But she wears it fairly well. She's like a little odd, but people find her generally unoffensive and maybe sometimes charming. So middle.
All right. She blends in well. She's one of those nerds that blends in well.
Yeah. She doesn't. Yeah. I think that's fair. Blend. Yeah. So it is. It's 3:05 at the elementary school. sixth grade, Dahlia and Billy. The bell has just rung for you to leave.
Yes.
What are your plans for this Friday afternoon?
Oh man, plans for this Friday. What are you doing, Billy?
Oh, I mean, I didn't really, nothing.
Well,
I mean, I was maybe gonna like read or study or something like
okay.
that.
Well, my
But
dad was supposed to drive me up and down to Lower Grape to the comic shop so we could do Friday Night Magic together, but then he got called away at work, so I don't have anything to do.
oh, well, you can come over. I think we could have some snacks or something.
Snacks are good. I like that.
Yeah,
Plus, I need to
snacks
show Zane the latest mixtape that I made. I think he'll dig it.
that gets like almost an eye roll, but Billy is not sarcastic enough for that. So he's just like, okay, cool. And he's trying to think. He tries to think of an appropriate slang term to use, but is not cool and takes too long, and then just doesn't.
And then in the middle of the night later on, Billy's like, "Oh, I should have said rad. I should have said."
Should have said all that in a bag of chips.
Dang it! I'm gonna save that for next time.
Okay, so you bundle up and are walking through this newly fallen snow. The snow stopped, and you walk past the high school to get home, and you see a group of maybe 7 or 8 kids who are standing. They're sort of sitting on a bunch of rocks outside the school. This is like their smoking circle. And as you pass, they one of them kind of like nudges the other and jerks their head over towards the two of you. And so these are like the punk kids. They've got their leather, they've got their dog collars, they're all spiked up and made up, and it's freezing, but they're not wearing warm clothes. They're all ripped, everything's ripped and all that stuff. And they kind of glance in your direction, and all of them look at Dahlia and give her one of these.
Yeah, she will like look over and then do like the slightest reaction and then like look down immediately like and then even though like her cheeks are already kind of rosy, they kind of heat up a little bit more. Oh, I wish people wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I mean, I understand, but I mean, it was just so cool.
I mean, yeah, it was cool, but that doesn't mean people have to talk about it. It's been December, November, October, September. It's been like 5 months. You would think it would die down by now.
I mean, there's nothing else. There's nothing else. I mean, it's Middle Grape.
Well, somebody else needs to do something big. And that way people won't think about like me punching a bear in the nose. It has to be bigger than that.
Maybe somebody will like have a car crash or something this week. Oh, I hope they don't. But maybe.
I don't think that's okay. Well, maybe. Yeah.
So do they walk past the high school because they're supposed to walk? We're supposed to all walk home together, like I'm supposed to.
Yeah, I imagine that would be generally the expectation of your parents. Yeah. Totally.
So I come out of school and I see them. I'm like, "Oh, Billy, okay, we got to get home. I've got to get home and then back out to the music store quickly so I can get back before my English partner gets to the house at 4:00. The new Boys to Men tape is out at the music store. I need to pick that up before it sells out. I think I might get this one on CD.
CD.
Yeah.
Zane, like, just I don't know why you're wasting time with that. Like, nobody, it's not gonna catch on.
And besides, you can't record over it when you're bored of it.
But record over the dulcet tones of Boys to Men. All right.
Nobody says dulcet tones, Zane.
We're going home. Let's go.
Are you going to the music store before home or home first?
If it's on the way, Zane would absolutely stop on the way home.
I think it's a very quick detour.
All right. So we're gonna make up some time. I need to be home by 4 to work on that project. I've got to get. I cannot fail this class again. So
What is it? Is it are you reading Moby Dick again?
yeah, and I've actually read it this time. So I will not stand for Amanda causing me to fail this project. If I don't pass this class, there is no way that Mom is getting me that new car.
Is Amanda? Do we know Amanda? Do we know Amanda?
Kirsten's cousin. She's staying with her now.
Kirsten's cousin.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait, you're
okay,
inviting
good.
her over
Yeah.
to your house?
Yeah, I'm not going to her house.
Gross. So you so when you get into the record store, or the music store, I think that the main person who works here is a very popular girl at Middle Grape High School.
Okay.
Who is in the same grade as Zane, and she often will steal cassettes and give them to her friends.
Ooh.
So and Zane, you know that she's going to be working here.
Mm-hmm.
So can you let's get a slow motion shot of Zane coming in the door.
A slow motion shot of
Yeah.
Zane coming in.
A 90s slow motion
Yeah.
shot.
Well, first of all, he stops outside and whips out his brush, and he's like, okay. And he goes, he opens that door and he's like, what's her name?
Her name is
Tiffany?
Michelle.
Michelle. He walks in and he goes, oh, hey, Michelle, didn't know you'd be working here today.
Hi, Zane.
How's it
Are
going?
you here for Boys to Men?
Who isn't? Am I right?
I know. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Yeah.
It is all that in a bag of chips.
Yep. So you got that?
Yeah, I do. She pulls out under the counter. She pulls out a copy of it, just kind of slides it over to you, and it is a cassette.
Oh boy. Okay. I was thinking about getting this on CD today, but your generosity has changed my mind. You know, I don't know. I've heard that I don't want to have to deal with the skip anyway. You know what I mean?
You got a CD player? I didn't even know.
Yeah, but you know, it's not so great. I mean, it's pretty great, but
come on, you have to show it to me.
well, okay, I've got it in my backpack. I whip out my backpack and
You have like a full-on Discman? I don't even know did they come out in 1994?
I don't know if they were there yet.
Wait, this is an easy problem to figure out.
Yes, they were out in 1994.
Oh,
Okay,
nice.
so yeah.
nice.
Okay.
Definitely does not have what do they call it, skip protection or whatever they call it.
No
something else.
anti-skip
Yeah.
technology. I believe only the official Discman. There weren't knockoffs yet in 1994. It was
Oh my
only
gosh. So
Definitely.
this is an expensive piece of technology.
Yeah.
This is a pricey.
Carrying it around in his backpack.
Well, it's
And
not just in my backpack. Like, first of all, it's in the protected inner pocket that has the foam, you know, and I pull it out, and it's still like in the box. I keep it in the box in my backpack, and so I take it out and I pull it out and I show it and I'm like, here it is.
She's like, what? Oh my god, that's so cool.
I figured
Oh.
you'd have one already working at the music store.
Well, we have like a big one at home. But I don't have
Yeah.
a Discman. Oh my god, can I try it?
I don't know if I should.
Come on. Come on.
All right, just be careful with it.
I will. So she puts on the headphones. What do you have in there?
What do I? what is already in there? There's a John Mellencamp CD.
John Mellencamp. Okay, all right. So she turns it on and she's like, "Oh my god, I love this song. Oh my god, it sounds so good. Holy crap!
I know.
I'm throwing out all of my cassettes. This is insane."
Yeah. Well, make sure that I carry both of them, right? Because when I'm walking to school, the jostling is, but there nothing beats it once I get there and I'm sitting down on the bleachers before school starts, and I load up one of these discs and hear that winding spin of the ball bearings.
She's like leaning forward, like smiling and nodding and talking like, yeah.
There's nothing like it in that.
What is happening?
She's like starry-eyed.
But you have to take good care of these.
Yeah, totally.
You get some scratching on this side here, and it can totally ruin your listening experience.
So she keeps like flirting and chatting. What are Dahlia and Billy doing as they are waiting for Zane to stop the shenanigans?
Billy like hummed and hawed in his head about like even going inside, but it's winter, so he decided that going inside was preferable. And so I think after a couple of minutes, Dahlia, do they have music that you like in here somewhere? I don't really come in here.
Yeah, let's go find out. So we're gonna search through some of the things.
The back corner
racks.
next to the posters.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm so glad we chose the 90s. Yeah, what
So
what kind
I
of
was
what
looking,
music do you like? Yeah.
I like rock and metal.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
This
I've been
is
trying to get Zane in on it, like feeding it very slowly, like going with a lot of more of the melodious kind, the ones with some really cool riffs and everything. Not doing any screamy vocals yet,
maybe a little Oh, okay. So you spot an album from a band you've never heard of.
Ooh.
It is a self-titled album called Rage Against the Machine.
I'm gonna pick it up.
Definitely,
that is a cool name.
That is a really cool name. Hold on, let's check it. So I'm gonna like flip it over and start looking at the track lists that are like in tiny font right on the back of the case.
It looks really different from anything you've ever seen, and it's kind of in like a corner where they're not like, it's not really a place where people will frequent. Not a lot of people are noticing this corner. It's like buried in the new arrivals. And I think too, in a small town like this is the music store, but it's also like a general store. Like on the other side, you can buy like mittens and umbrellas and like other random things.
Yes. Maybe this one. I'm gonna hold on to it for right now.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. I don't. Okay. I'll listen to it with you.
So is Dahlia buying it? Taking it?
Dahlia doesn't have any money.
I didn't think so. So is she?
Say-
Yeah.
Zane.
Yeah.
Hey,
What? Hold on. He's given the hold on finger to Billy, and he's finishing. He's
Fair
gonna
enough.
he's gonna finish what he was saying. He's like he's finishing explaining the skipping situation. He's like, if you're playing, if you're listening to something like Tootsie Roll, you're not gonna want to do that because you're gonna be up and wanting to dance, and that's gonna cause it to skip. But you're listening to something like the new Boys to Men, I'll Make Love to You. That's
Oh yeah, that one. That's a good one. That's a
Yeah.
really good one.
Oh,
yeah.
it's one of my favorites.
This is literally the face that she's making too.
And Michelle's like,
if you don't mind, I've gotta talk to my little brother for a second.
oh, and she like for the first time notices that Billy and Dahlia are there.
Yeah, 1 second, Michelle. And I put my arm around him, like all chummy and smiling, and I pull him over to
Such a dick.
pull him over to another side where I'm out of eye shot of Michelle, and then I turn to him and I go, "What?"
Okay, rude. I just want to. We found a good tape, and I mean, can we borrow $10?
Ooh. So, what is the tape?
Joe.
So yeah, I'll like hold out like I'm just hold it in my hand so you can see like the front of it.
Mm-hmm.
That
Rage Against the
Rage
Machine.
Against the Machine.
Who is? And I look at it, and I turn it over and look at the track listing on the back, and I'm like, who is this? What do they sing?
I don't know. This is the first one I've ever seen by them.
Okay.
And I haven't heard it on the radio either, so it's gotta be good.
Yeah.
So true in Middle Grape.
All right. Dahlia, I normally wouldn't let you borrow any money, but first of all, I got this Boys to Men tape for free, so I've got I'm a little flush with cash. And I do owe you for letting me copy that Green Day tape last month. So okay, all right, fine, I'll take it.
Yes.
I'll go pay for it. And I take the tape and I walk up to the counter.
Billy is just like, oh gosh, I'm just that worked out well. I'm glad I didn't have to remind him of things.
And as I'm about to turn around the end of the aisle to go up to the counter, I turn back around and I say, "You don't know anything about these guys?
No, not anything.
Nothing at all?
Nothing.
You can say it's for us if it's not cool enough.
Or just give me the money and I'll buy it. It's okay. We don't need to.
I've got this. I've
unless
got
you're
this.
cool.
I've got this." And I turn back around and I go up to the counter. And I put it on the counter and I slide it towards her, and I'm watching the expression on her face, and I'm trying to read her carefully to see what she's going to think about this tape before I give her my story.
So she, I think that's going to be our first roll.
Ooh.
And I feel like this is a charm roll not because you're charming her in this exact instant, but it's more like perceiving what she's doing, what her expression is. She wants to impress Zane a lot. So if she thinks he's doing something and she doesn't want to look like she's the weirdo, so I think that the DC for this will be a 10.
Oh, okay.
So it might be a little tough to gauge her reaction. This is not to convince her of anything. This is just to gauge her
Now, what sort of things provide modifiers to my rolls in Kids on Bikes?
Well, you have some
I think it's based
character.
on your age.
Yeah. So based on your so kids, for example, I believe get +1 to charm automatically.
Oh yes,
They're cute.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing you can do is you can spend adversity points.
Oh, of which we have none yet, because you get those by failing a roll, right?
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you have to fail a roll to get a point.
Well,
and I'll let you guys keep track of that.
This is Zane has a D20. It's his highest attribute is charm. So he's got a 50-50 chance of doing this. So let's see what happens. And I got a 3.
A 3.
Why
so yeah, she now, and this is sort of a spur of the moment thing. So this is what we call a snap decision. You don't have time to plan out how you're going to gauge her reaction because it's happening really fast. In a planned action, you can take the average. But for this, her expression's unreadable. She's like, "Oh, that's a new one. Do you want this too?"
Yes. I looked interesting. The album art. I'm into new kind of music experiences. You know, I'm kind of an eclectic when it comes to music, so.
Yeah, totally. It's definitely different than anything I've ever listened to. So this one's $10.
All right, here you go. And I throw $10 at the counter.
Do you tell her that you are buying it for your brother?
No, I don't.
No, you didn't tell her. Okay. Okay, cool. Well, enjoy. Tell me what your favorite Boyz II Men song is.
Ooh, I will.
See you on Monday.
Bye, Michelle. And
Bye.
I go, Billy, Dahlia, let's go. And I walk out without waiting for them. I just go. I'm just
Bill, as their exit, if there's if Michelle is at all paying attention, probably not. But if she was, Billy's just like, oh, bye.
She's not even looking at you. She's picking up the phone and dialing somebody. She's calling somebody. No doubt to tell them that, oh my God, Zane came in today.
right.
How awesome.
Oh my God, Laura. Oh my God.
You would not believe what he said.
He was like, so, oh my gosh, I love it there. So you head home, and it is 5 to 4 by the time you roll into your home. And I think that the Bouchards have a very nice house. They've got a 2-story brick house that is fairly updated on the inside. You've got some really great pastel carpets and floral print curtains and clamshell couches. And it looks like
wallpaper.
Wallpaper, floral wallpaper. Everything's floral. There's just a lot of flowers everywhere. And there's no color more saturated than peach.
Oh,
Right.
And so heinous. So you head in, and I don't know. Do we get any suggestions for snacks? I think that you definitely have Fruitopia and Dunkaroos in the house.
yeah.
That's like a standard.
Yep.
And
Do they have the bugles, the little corn chip things that you just put on your fingers and eat them off? That's what I did.
Yeah, totally.
Which fingers?
All of them.
You have any snack you can imagine from the early 90s. So chat, feel free to supply a list of what's in the pantry.
We need
Bouchards
snacks.
have a lot more money than most families in Middle Grape, including Dahlia's family. So anyway, You head in, knowing that you would go right for the fridge. Your mom has left you. Well, it looks like there's a note magneted to the fridge.
Okay. What's the note say?
The note says, "Went to pick up Dad. If I'm late, there's pizza pockets in the freezer. Don't eat all the cookies." And then below it says, "Watch the news tonight."
Watch the news tonight. Billy, what's supposed to happen on the news tonight?
He sort of thinks for a second. He's at least partially aware of current world events, and doesn't come up with anything special for this particular day. I don't. I mean, I don't know. I can't think of anything.
Who watches the news anyway?
Billy watches the news.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
I mean, I just like to know about stuff,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you watch the news and then you tell me stuff. That's how it works.
Me too. So Mom says you need to watch the news tonight, and I throw the note at him.
Okay.
I don't throw it at him. I'm not a complete a-hole. I like toss it on the kitchen table where he's, congregating with Dahlia.
Ding dong.
Oh, that's probably I checked the clock. Is it 4?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like 2 minutes to 4.
Okay, that's probably Amanda early. Ugh. Okay, I go to the door. No, I say, Billy, can you answer the door, please? No,
Okay.
I'll answer it. I'll answer it.
Oh,
Never mind.
oh,
Never mind.
Okay.
I need a damage control here.
Billy goes instead and gets. Did we get any suggestions? Let's see.
Bagel bites.
We've
Oh,
got
that's
bagel-
Sorry.
Cassie's
Ooh,
sister.
or
I had to.
Gushers. We have Gushers and Fruitopia.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gushers. Oh.
And
I
get
loved those.
one for him and one for Dahlia, and then they're sitting at the kitchen table eating them.
So I open the door, and is it Amanda?
Yep. Hey, Zane.
All right. Let's do this. I mean, welcome to my home. This is where I live. We will go. I look around at the couch and the kitchen table. The kitchen table. That's where we're going. And I go, sit down there. I go, Billy, Dahlia, could you guys go to your room, please?
Yeah, you sure.
Sure, Zane.
Thanks. Are there any gushers left?
Yep.
Yeah.
There's one.
Oh, jeez.
Well, there's one. Hey, come on, Dahlia, and then he runs.
Yeah.
Like,
Before-
at 11-year-old
before you
speed.
guys leave. Amanda looks at the table. She looks at Zane and is like, "Oh my God, Rage Against the Machine? Do you listen to them?
Yes.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
he
they're
does.
so good. Oh my God, have you heard this album? It is insane."
Well,
I-
the rapper is still on it. I have not listened to it.
Oh, can we listen to it right now? Oh my God.
I'll tell you what. We figure out an outline for what this project is going to look like, and I'll pop it in to that stereo, and I point to our fancy stereo.
Oh, with the 4-foot tall speakers.
Yeah,
That
with
are-
the
that are
giant
wood.
speakers.
Yes.
It's got,
And they're like wood paneled.
yeah.
Exactly.
And the stereo
Uh,
itself has the 2 tape decks. It's got what did you call that? Anyway, it's very good.
She's like, "Well, will your parents care when they come home? Because it might get loud."
Well, we'll
It's kind of different.
we'll deal with that
I'm excited.
when it happens. What time do
Okay.
our parents get home usually anyway? Aren't we alone most of the day?
Your mom's usually home at this time.
Oh.
Your dad usually is home around 5:36.
Oh, okay. I say, well, it's loud, you say. We'll figure it out. Let's go.
We'll get it done. We'll get it done. So Billy and Dahlia buzz off. Yeah, I think Amanda feels a little. She seems a little warmer towards you after the Rage Against the Machine moment.
I'm gonna have to thank Dahlia again.
She seems to think you're maybe a little less lame than she used to think.
Yeah. So for chat's benefit, Dahlia has always. This is actually an established part of our backstory that we talked about. Dahlia is sort of like Zane's like line on cool music, so he always like leans on her for.
Yeah.
You know, Zane just knows about pop music, like, you know, like Boyz II Men or what's the other one? All for One.
Gosh.
Did
NSYNC or Backstreet Boys start up yet?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I don't think so. But anyway.
Yeah, and the radio station plays only like country and top 40.
Yeah, like Achy Breaky Heart. I'm sure that's going round the clock at this time.
and like pop, like soft pop, and like like classic
Tony Braxton.
Hits, that kind of thing. Totally.
Oh man.
Yeah, so as you get down to it, Amanda is fine. Like she is a passable English partner, and begins to kind of she poses a couple options. You're oh my god, sorry, I'm just distracted because chat says Backstreet Boys formed in '93. Damn it.
That's right.
Sorry, got distracted by Backstreet Boys.
Who doesn't? Who didn't?
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, she's doing okay. She's less insufferable than at school.
Okay.
And you managed to make some headway on this project. And let's get a quick snapshot of what Billy and Dahlia get up to.
Let's see. Well, the news is at 5, so we have an hour.
Right? Was it 5 or was it 6?
I mean,
I don't know.
Both, but
Both. All of it.
it depends on what channel. But I like the one that's on MCTV, so we'll watch that one at 5. But do you want to play some video games, or do you have what do you want to do?
Video game sounds fun. I don't.
Right.
I don't have video games in my house.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll show you. We've got
Do it.
we can play some Super Nintendo.
Nice. Let's do it.
Awesome.
So we boot up and play Super Mario World.
Sweet.
And I let Dahlia be Mario.
Don't play my game. Don't play my save. I'm like on the last world.
Okay.
Yeah, so she so you're playing Mario, things wrap up, and it's just about 5 o'clock, time for the news. You've got a good outline for you split up some work, you're ready for your Moby Dick stuff. You're basically gonna look at everything you did last time and do the opposite.
Yeah.
Everything she suggests, she kind of like blinks twice and is like, or we could.
Okay. Good idea.
Yeah, I think that'll probably work.
You know, you're not as you're smarter than you let on. I'll put it that way.
Thanks. Okay. I'll take it. And Billy and Dahlia come thundering down the stairs to watch the news. And your parents still at home.
Man, Mom and Dad are so late today. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna watch the news. I mean, it won't be too loud.
It's okay.
So we turn on the news, and I just was looking off on the side for some important news. So we're in the middle of an NHL lockout still. That's important.
Oh.
But
Oh, okay.
man.
but the
That's
world
big news.
juniors are in Alberta, coming up in January of '95. So that's big news.
Mm.
A bunch of NHL players are actually going to be playing in the Team Canada. So that's big. There's some stuff happening in Boris Yeltsin's doing some stuff. It's the Clinton
Some
administration.
Russian stuff.
Yeah, invading Chechnya. Like they do.
Would this also be an election year? No, it wouldn't.
No.
Not in the States.
No. And I think that is like sort of all the basic stuff, and then there's weather, and then finally local news.
Yeah.
So you actually, before the local news, now I am assuming that you're on CBC here, or at least that's what I was assuming when I wrote it.
One of those.
And so you kind of go through. You start with it starts with the kind of regional stuff, and then it cuts to CBC, the main news, and you see Peter Mansbridge with hair on the TV, and he says, "Good evening and welcome to CBC News. I'm Peter Mansbridge. Our top story tonight: an inexplicable plane crash in Northern Ontario claims the lives of multiple people on a flight from Winnipeg to Ottawa. For more, we go live to our correspondent on the scene, Hannah Singh."
I feel like at that point, like I'm starting to listen to because parents aren't home. I'm trying to take the opportunity to actually listen to Rage Against the Machine, and it's kind of loud, and Billy's probably like at the sound of plane crash in
Northern Ontario.
Yeah. So it's like
Yeah,
Zane,
it's like
Zane, pause it.
this is really loud music.
And Amanda's like,
I'm gonna run over there and pause it.
Oh
real
yeah,
quick.
they're supposed to be watching the news. My mom said they had to. I don't know why. We'll wait.
And you see Hannah Singh on the TV, standing at your mom's work, and you can see the runway behind her, and you can see the tower crumpled off in the background.
Zane,
Oh
What?
my
Zane,
god!
Zane, come here right now. Come here.
I go stand in front of the TV, and I'm kind of like staring now. Like it's caught my attention. Like what the?
Thank you, Peter. Peter, I'm standing here on Middle Grape's landing strip, a place so small it's only
That's
ever
where we
landed
live.
hobby and small prop planes. But today, a request for an emergency landing put Barbara Bouchard into a difficult position. And your mom
That's my
comes
mom.
on the TV,
That's your mom.
and in the middle of
Mom's on the
B-roll,
news.
in the middle of B-roll scans of only you only see the tail of a plane at a skewed angle. Your mom is kind of frantic, and you can see this was filmed earlier in the day. They called in and they told me they needed to land, and I told them I didn't advise it. I said they'd be hitting the trees. They told me to clear the runway since they were coming in and they couldn't stop. They apologized. I ran from the tower, and I heard trees snapping, and she's cut off right there. We've had word that 20 are confirmed killed in the crash landing, including both pilots. And it cuts back to your mom. And I don't know what happened, but I hope everyone else is all right. And it cuts back to Hannah. Peter, things are looking difficult here, but the OPP has sent a team to help. And Amanda is kind of rounding the corner to watch with you guys. And she's sort of like got her eyes now, not really paying super attention, sort of looking a little bit impatient. And Hannah is sort of walking across this runway, and she says, "I have Wayne Griss, special investigator, here with me. Wayne, can you tell us about the situation?" And on the screen, the camera pans over to a man, maybe 35 years old. He's got slick back, black, gray streaked hair. He's wearing a black woolen coat. And Amanda, Zane, you feel her stiffen beside you, and she goes, and Wayne says, "We believe there are some issues at the uranium mine nearby that have caused the plane's instruments to malfunction. We've expanded our investigation to that location and are not treating anything as suspicious. We encourage the folks of Middle Grape to remain in their homes and stay away from the mine and the crash site. Thank you."
That's Dad's work.
Amanda, are you okay?
Oh my god. Oh my god. And she it cuts back to Hannah, and she keeps kind of talking about the situation and the things, and Amanda, like, she backs onto like a couch and sits down, and she's shaking and staring at the TV as it moves on to another news story.
Amanda.
Oh my god. She looks up at you and says, I'm sorry. I think I have to go. Did you say that was your mom?
Yeah, our mom is she's a what do you call it? A flight
Air traffic control,
controller.
Zane.
Yeah.
Oh god. That I've seen that man before, and he's jeez.
Who, the reporter, the reporter guy?
Not the reporter, the guy, the investigator.
And Billy's like, sort of fixates on this, and he's like, is he like, is he a bad guy?
She kind of looks at you and then looks back at the other two, back to Billy, and says, "Yeah, I think he is. I think if he's got the mine locked down." Did you say your dad works there?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the boss.
Oh god. Okay.
Dahlia, it's a cover up. I told you that.
What do you mean you told her? What are you talking about?
There's always, I watch the news. There's always like secret stuff happening, and they don't tell you. And now there's secret stuff happening right here.
Right here in Middle Grape.
One of Billy's weaknesses is that he is paranoid. Yeah.
And I think that one of the rumors about the town is that Mrs. Wilson on Alton Street was abducted by aliens in the 70s, and she loves talking about it.
Yeah.
So when you think about conspiracy theories and cover up, this is always the first thing that comes to everybody's minds when they talk about, about Middle Grape, or when they talk about those kinds of things happening here. Yeah. So she says, has something like this happened before? I mean, not like a plane crash, but like, or have there been other plane crashes? What are you talking about?
I mean, Dahlia, remember? And he starts like not being able to talk because he's like not used to talking to older people, or being listened to. So he's like, Dahlia, remember the magic school bus?
Yes, the magic school bus.
What is the magic school bus?
Zane, just Zane.
Yeah.
I
you
barely
remember?
even. Yeah, go ahead, Dahlia. This is nonsense, I think. But
The magic school bus disaster. You don't remember it?
yeah, I remember that it happened.
Oh my gosh. It's when the entire bus disappeared without a trace for hours. Nobody could find it. It just disappeared. And then all of a sudden it returned. And they were there and they were fine. but then they were like, well, nothing happened. They didn't even know they had disappeared.
Who's on the bus?
All of the kids.
Which kids? Do you know the kids?
No, it was like a
They're adults now.
yeah, Zane, wasn't it like some oh, you don't even remember. And then he's like thinks for a minute, and he's like it was like a team. I don't know, it's some hockey thing. Zane, you know about the hockey thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they were on a trip. It disappeared. They were gone for a while, and then it showed up again. Nobody knew what happened, but everybody's pretty sure that something happened. But nobody can agree on what. Yeah.
Something happened.
Yeah, something happened.
It's a bunch of nonsense. All right.
Okay. Look, I don't know what's going on, but that guy is bad news. And she takes a deep breath and says, my dad was a researcher at U of T, and some weird stuff happened in his lab.
Weird
and
stuff?
So some of this...
What's weird stuff? Like,
okay,
turning into the Hulk weird stuff?
I mean, that would be so cool.
Radioactive spiders?
It's hard to explain, but it was just some weird
zombies.
No, it wasn't zombies. But he was doing he researches radioactivity and nuclear fission, and some weird stuff happened in his lab, and that guy showed up, and then the next day my dad was gone, and he left a note saying he was leaving my mom, but my mom didn't believe it, and she got me to come here because she thought something was going on. And all I remember is that dude standing in the doorway, and she just kind of puts her head down and says, oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
And as she's kind of holding her face in her hands, the doorbell rings.
Okay. I'll get it.
No, Billy.
I'll answer it. I'll answer it.
Guys, sit down. You're not answering the door because if there is a science experiment wielding investigator from the government on the other side of that door, and you get abducted, I'm gonna be in a lot of trouble. So, I will answer.
Let's hide behind the couch.
He's super right.
And I go to the kitchen drawer and I get a butcher knife.
Yes.
And
I take out my can of bear spray from my backpack.
So what's your jam? How do you approach this door?
I tuck the butcher knife like into the back, like in my belt, in the back of my jeans, and
Nice.
and like put my blazer over the top of it, you know.
Yeah.
And then I saunter coolly to the front of the door. Like this is all a show though, because I'm kind of a little scared.
Now shitting your pants.
Yeah. And I look through the peephole.
Through the peephole, you see,
with my hand on the knife while I'm looking through.
a row of 3 black SUVs are parked in front of your house, and you see right in front of you the man with the salt and pepper slicked back hair. I think we're gonna pause right there to take our break.
Oh my god!
Yes.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
Ooh. I know what I'm doing.
I know.
All right. We are going to take a break. Like you said, what do you think? 5 minutes good? Or do you want
5
10?
minutes works for me.
All right, let's do 5 minutes. We'll take a quick 5-minute break. I forgot to set up the 5-minute break screen. There's a 10-minute break screen though, so pretend that it's 5 minutes. 5 minutes means 0. You can't trust anything you see on the Shadowcasters Network. All right, we're going to be right back. Nobody go anywhere, except if it's to go get your friends and tell them how great this show is and that they need to watch it. And then, yeah, we'll be back.
All right.
Hey, we're back.
Hello.
We're back. Dun, dun, dun.
After that suspenseful break, oh my gosh.
Right?
So Zane has just answered a doorbell ring. This is the most exciting thing that's ever happened in Middle Grape. A giant plane has crashed. And right now your parents are not home. You just saw this man on the TV. He Amanda, your new non-friend, reacted very strongly to his presence. And he's right outside your door. I think this is a good point to just take a little pause and introduce our powered character.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah.
So, in this game, you generally have one powered character, and this character is controlled by multiple people. They are controlled by the players and the GM through what are described as aspects. So aspects can be aspects of the personalities, ways that they behave, powers that they can use. If they want to use their powers, they have 7, and I'm keeping track of them right now. They start with 7 psychic energy tokens. These can be renewed when you take rests and eat and stuff like that. Amanda is our powered character. I've given you each 3 aspects that you can invoke. So if you invoke this aspect, you tell me what Amanda does, and describe what it looks like. Some of what I gave you is a little bit vague, and we'll reveal them to the chat as they come through. So yeah, some of them are a little bit vague. Some of them are more specific. And I might interject a little bit of detail here and there to kind of match what backstory Amanda has. But overall, we have collective control over Amanda. Once you invoke an aspect, the idea is that you don't use it again through the session. I'm not going to make that hard and fast rule, but that's kind of implied by the rules of the game. Yeah, so. This man is at the door. Zane has tucked a butcher knife down the back of his jeans. That doesn't seem wise.
No, in his belt.
His belt. Okay. I was like, wait a second. His jeans. Yeah, and Amanda is white as a sheet. She is, and she's looking around the room, and she says, "What is it? Who is it?"
So I tighten my grip on the knife, and I turn back around and quickly put my back up against the door, probably a little bit too hard, and it gives I wouldn't be surprised if it gives away that we're inside. But Zane isn't thinking about opening the door right now, or he's not thinking about the people outside right now. He's thinking about Amanda, actually, and he says, "Billy, Dahlia, get Amanda into Mom and Dad's room, in the trunk, in the closet. You know the one, Billy, the one that you always hide in whenever we used to play hide and seek, and I used to always find you."
Okay, what's happening?
Well, hold on. You need to know that the bottom of that trunk has a trapdoor that you can hide her under. That's why you never found me when I went in there.
All right, come on, let's go. I'll just grab Billy's arm and get up and start heading towards.
Who's outside?
Just do what I said now.
Okay.
It's obviously the bad guy.
Oh, okay. So, I would like to roll Billy's brains to figure out if he knows anything about law that he can yell to Zane.
Sure.
So let me roll that up here. No modifier.
It's either the bad guy or it's the men in
Whoa.
black.
You rolled a
A
16.
A 16.
Yeah, so in this game, when you succeed, you narrate your own success, and I narrate
Yeah.
your failures. So go
Perfect.
ahead and
Zane.
yeah.
So Zane, if it's the bad guy and he's from the police, he can't come in unless you let him in unless he has a warrant. So just be like, do you have a warrant? And keep saying that, and then they goes upstairs.
He acts frustrated because he's not being listened to by Billy and he's not leaving right away, but he's definitely
No, but he
glad
is.
that he said that.
he's saying that as he's going up the stairs.
All
Kids are terrible at going up the stairs quietly. So it's like
That's true. I love that you just said that. It's so incredible.
so you hear two sets of feet, and the third set of feet are not loud because Amanda is not 11.
Yeah, well, let's see how quietly you do that. I think this would be flight.
Flight? Oh, God.
So if you could each roll flight for me.
I think I get a +1.
Yes, we do
Flight,
because we are
yeah.
children.
Yeah.
And I think the DC, I will make the DC for this 4 because
Ooh, okay.
there's a lot between you, and you've got the TV going, like it's still on, I imagine. Like
true.
it's
You shouldn't have
It's
stopped
not-
breaking this machine.
Yeah, I know.
I
I wish
know,
I'd thought
I
about
know.
that.
yeah.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Jesus, you exploded, dude.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, you did explode. Yeah, this game has exploding dice, so if you roll your top, if you basically crit, you roll again. So Billy is silent. Amanda is quiet behind it. Billy, you kind of know all the Oh, you're supposed to narrate this, but I was gonna say you know all
Yeah,
the creeks.
I know. Yeah, it's like, okay, I know where all the things are, and I mean Dahlia should too, but we're stressed out, so
I think
so he's like, okay, okay, yeah, and this is Amanda, it's in here.
and I think Dahlia's so excited that she kind of trips on her own feet and falls
Yeah.
up the stairs.
Yep.
And so Dahlia, go ahead and take an adversity token.
I shall.
Yeah, so you find the chest, and the trapdoor just as Zane described, and you're like, damn it, how did I never find this? Yeah, and you
Okay. So I open it and look in it first to make sure that there's like no zombies or skeletons hiding in there. And I wouldn't want to have a new friend go into a scary place.
Very
no
considerate.
no zombies, no skeletons.
Some dust. Okay.
She's definitely afraid though. She's shaking.
Okay, you'll be safe in here.
Yeah, just don't make a sound or you'll probably die.
Dahlia, that's not. No. It's okay.
Like you did on the stairs.
Exactly, except worse because you'll be dead. So get in the box.
Jesus.
Is that coming from Dahlia's flaw?
my blunt.
Dahlia's so excited.
Oh, do you have a flaw of blunt? That's really funny.
All right.
Oh, hey, I've got a Here's a light. He pulls it out of a pocket. He's got a little pen flashlight.
Ooh.
Thanks.
I actually have an emergency phone call I need to take. Pardon me.
No problem.
Oh, that's okay.
All right.
I
So,
was
All right. Well, let's
I-
hop over to Zane.
Yeah, I was gonna
Just
say that
before
go
you
ahead,
guys
Dahlia.
does
Oh,
that-
sorry.
Before
Yeah,
he
go
does
ahead,
that,
Dahlia.
before you get into your thing, I'm gonna grab Billy and we're gonna go back into his room and we're gonna turn the SNES back on and we're gonna turn the volume all the way up and we're gonna start playing video games.
Okay. All right.
Drown out some
Playing
sounds.
video games.
All right.
Yep.
Loud
Right.
video games.
Loud.
All right. Well, I definitely, while they were going up the stairs, probably I waited until they got to the top of the stairs, but I wouldn't have waited too much longer before I opened the door and made sure that my jacket was over the knife handle again, and then opened the door. Said, like just peeked out, and I said, "Hello, yes."
The man smiles, sort of a tight smile with no teeth. Hi, are your parents home?
I'm not really supposed to answer questions like that. And I just stop.
I'm so sorry. My name is I'm Investigator Grist, and he pulls out a badge. I'm here with the Ontario Provincial Police. We are investigating the events of today, and it's very important that I talk to your father.
What events?
I guess maybe you haven't had the news on. There are some issues with the uranium mine where your father is employed, and we suspect that there may be some transmission problems for electronics in the town and possibly airplanes because we believe that might have been the cause of the air crash that happened earlier today.
And you need to speak to my parents.
What's your name?
What was your name again?
He kind of gets sort of sets his jaw. Son, are you standing in the way of a provincial investigation?
No. I'm sure there are lots of things you can investigate, and I'm definitely not standing in the way of those things. But as far as my home, I am asking if you're trying to talk to my parents, because they are not here right now.
Ah, that was my original question. Thank you very much. And what's your name again?
Well, I didn't give it to you the first time, so I'm not going to give it to you again.
He kind of reaches like below his lapel, and
I put my hand on like the knife because everything on television tells me he's reaching for a gun right now.
right. It's like high up here.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a small gun there. You don't know, but he reaches for it, and you see his he kind of pushes on something on his lapel and pulls his hand away. And a moment later, each one of the SUVs, the back doors open, and you see three men looking very similar to him, similar hairstyle, black wool coats, and they get out of the SUVs.
They need to
and begin approaching your house.
If they need to use the bathroom, there's some woods behind the house, but they're not coming in here.
Look, I'm going to ask you nicely one more time.
You don't have to ask me nicely. All you have to do is show me a warrant that says that you're allowed to be in here. Look, I know my rights. And he secretly thinks Billy in his head.
So you watch as these men, they approach the house and then they disappear out of your view. And then at this point, this is when the video games start going on really loud.
Yeah.
And he kind of looks away to the side and nods, and then he attempts to force his way past you.
Whoa!
Shoot.
So this a fight roll is a fight versus brawn. And this man is a trained investigator. Let's just say that much. So he has some pretty significant fight, and it feels like a brick wall kind of pushing you off to the side. So if you could roll brawn for me.
All right, you want me to roll brawn, eh? I have I also have one of my strengths, one of my character strengths is protective.
Ah.
And that gives me a +3 to rolls when defending any of my friends.
Nice.
Ooh, good. This is great.
So, I'm rolling my brawn, which is only a d6, but I get a +3. So, we'll see what happens. Here we go. Did it roll? I got an 8, which is pretty good for a d6.
That's not too bad. That's not too bad. Investigator Grist rolled 19 on a d20. He rolled a 20. So grab yourself another.
I'm like prepared. I think I'm like I'm doing well for myself. I'm like
any 17-year-old.
Yeah. And I'm like bracing, and then he's just like, I'm sure he just knocks me over.
Yeah, for real. Like it feels like you were just hit by a wall. And he enters your house, and you hear the back door open, and you hear crashing sounds from the sides of your house, and you're sprawled on the ground. yeah, pretty much. And I think there's like in this game too, they talk about combat being lethal. This was not meant to hurt you in any real way. He just wanted you out of the way. And I think that you're knocked unconscious for like a minute.
Oh, that's
like, yeah, like you're out.
I definitely would have grabbed that knife too, so it's probably like spilled out of my hand onto the floor. And
okay, so Zane is unconscious on the ground. Billy and Dahlia, you're upstairs. Are you actually playing the video games?
No.
Dahlia turned on?
We
no,
just turned it on. We're just doing enough to like we're literally just like pushing controllers while we have our ears like kind of like went outside trying to figure out what's happening.
So you got some video game music going upstairs.
The controller's in hand, just in case, but
and you can hear this, like those crashes are loud. You hear Zane yelp, and then you hear a loud thump. And I don't know that you would hear footsteps necessarily, but you hear the loud commotion.
Yeah. Billy, they killed Zane.
Billy.
What are we gonna do?
Billy takes his asthma inhaler.
Alright. I got this. I got it.
It's,
My face looking like I really
I got it. Okay, we gotta stop them. And so, I think we both go out to the stairs.
Yeah, we do. Video game music's still in the background. That's not gonna stop. Alright, so yeah, me and Billy are gonna stand at the top of the stairs.
Okay, so you head to the top of the stairs, and you see down below, you see this man at the base of the stairs. He looks up at the two of you and says, "Hello."
What you want, Super Chief?
He walks up the stairs.
Super Chief.
Dahlia. It just, Billy whispers to Dahlia, "Dahlia, go and go and call."
So the guy kind of gets up to the top of the stairs, and he looks at Dahlia, and he says he has like a little. He does what the like super secret agent thing and talks into his wrist, and kind of mumbles something.
You're not allowed in here. Where's my brother?
Did you kill him? You murderer.
He says, "Get out of my way, or I'll get you out of my way." Ooh. And you see Zane's like foot at the bottom of the stairs. Like,
oh gosh.
That's a hard no, Chief.
Yeah.
I think.
Precocious Dahlia, I love her.
See,
I love it so much.
Gosh. Ooh.
I want to remind the audience Zane's 17, but these two kids are 11 years old. So
We're just like,
I think
But
that's
I do
I think
have
it's
my
important to paint the picture here.
My number one strength is cool under pressure, and
Yeah,
my
yeah.
number one flaw is blunt. So
This is so good. So as you have this like moment of standoff, I'll just remind you that we have collective control of Amanda.
mhm.
So you can tell me what she's doing if you think she's doing anything. I think she's probably hearing some of this commotion, for sure. Yeah.
I think.
Mac would die for Dahlia.
Yeah, I think at this point, like, Billy is shy, but he's also got his number 2 stat is grit, despite like his complete insecurity. So I think at this point he sees that Zane is like dead on the ground, or who knows.
Right.
So I think at this point he's just like, police brutality, and he tries to shove the guy down the stairs.
This is great. So unfortunately, this is not a grit roll, I don't think.
No, this is
because-
just how I'm rationalizing his action.
Yeah.
This would be a fight.
So this would be your fight versus his brawn.
Yes, it is. A fight is his literal worst.
It is not.
It is a
Not great.
D4.
Not great. And I think this guy is not a huge dude. He's big, but he's not thug
mean,
big.
Okay,
if
look,
I see Billy act
we're
like
11.
going at it, because like this never happens, can I like join in and try to help him out? Like, I don't know, just like drop kick this dude down the stairs.
So the way it works with snap decisions like this, you can't spend adversity tokens to help people.
Okay. okay.
But I wonder if you could gang up on someone. That
I mean, I
kind
don't
of
see-
makes sense. Like
I don't
two
see why.
children jumping on you is actually kind of could be pretty intimidating.
You need- oh,
You know what? Here's what I'll do. I will say
we're the
that if you.
stupidest kids ever.
I'm so worried. Yeah, I know.
You mean we're acting exactly like children?
Like children, yes. Okay, let me take a look. Dahlia's got a fight of D12, so she's
Dahlia does.
pretty intense.
She's good.
pretty good. And I think this guy's got a disadvantage of being on stairs. So okay, Dahlia, I want you to let's get you both to roll yours at the same time.
Okay.
And Dahlia, if you do better than Billy, I'll give Billy a +2.
Okay. All right.
Alright,
You ready
well,
for
you
this,
go.
Billy?
You go first.
All right. On 3.
Oops.
3, 2. There we go. Oh shit! I did not do
Oh,
good.
you didn't.
Oh,
You
man,
rolled a 7. You
my dice are
exploded.
exploding all night.
That's awesome. Mine will never do that again.
Again, no, just the once.
Just the
You
once.
used it all up.
I got a 44, guys. A 44
You rolled a 44 and a D20.
on a D20.
You rolled 2 crits in a row. It was crazy.
Get that.
This isn't
Get
our
behind that. And that's why I punched a bear in the nose.
practice. So Dahlia, you see Billy go for it,
And-
and then
yeah,
you.
And I freak out because I'm the one who's like supposed to be tough here, and he's like, oh my god, he's going for it. Shit, I gotta help him. I was not prepared. I'm in no.
So you kind of go in a little too late, and Grist sees you coming, and kind of like swats you away. He sort of like smacks you sort of in the nose and forehead, so your head kind of flies back a little. But Billy, you succeed. Describe how you how you not knock him out, but like basically get him down.
So yeah, I just sort of like, he's there at the top of the stairs, and like Billy's like, he just took his asthma inhaler, so he's got this like the tiny dose of steroids.
His lungs are vasodilating.
It's just he just basically does the two-handed a two-handed straight arm shove,
This is wonderful.
just pushes him, and he is completely shot. Police brutality.
When was Rodney King? When was that?
Oh,
93?
man, I don't know.
92?
Probably somewhere around there. So he
It's
just
definitely a
goes.
phrase we would know.
He just completely goes like like completely back. Like he manages to kind of bend in half, so like his tailbone hits one of the stairs. But then when you do that, it's like that, and then his back of his head hits another stair, and then he does a backwards
he's like,
flip. Just head over heels, literally backwards, and sort of crumpled at the bottom. He's probably not terribly hurt because the stairs are carpeted.
In pink plush carpet, we should.
Oh
add.
yeah, it's deep pile. Yeah.
Okay. Once that happens, what do you do?
I think Billy finishes his thought that he was trying to say earlier. Dahlia, use the phone in Zane's room to call like the real police. And then he goes down the stairs to try and help Zane.
Okay.
Yeah.
He will literally step on this guy at the bottom.
I feel like it should be opposite, but I fell down and he seems to be like, boom, this is my brother, don't fuck with my family mentality.
This is my house. This is my house, and I'm like,
And so I'm like,
feeling
okay,
pretty right now.
I'm gonna run into his room. Is there like an emergency number in Canada? Is it 911?
Yeah, it's 911.
In Zane's room, Zane has a phone made of clear plastic, so you can see the inside of the phone.
Awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Bobby knows.
Yeah, I know exactly.
So Billy, you step on Inspector Grist, and he kind of makes a sound, and at this moment, Zane, this is when you come to watching your little brother step on the guy that just knocked you out.
Stomp on him.
I shake my head. I see what's going on, and I go, Billy, what's going on?
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, are you okay?
Where's Dahlia? Where's Dahlia?
Grist is stirring, getting up. He looks a little disoriented, but he says, "Go to the front."
I grab Billy and I run upstairs. And head to my room. Can I start narrating Amanda now?
Amanda,
a little bit?
yeah, sure.
So Amanda's I think Amanda's heard all the commotion.
For sure she has, yeah.
Yeah, and she knows that she's got to get out of here. Okay? And so I think she has snuck, because nobody's in the parents' bedroom yet, right?
No.
Okay, so I think she's snuck out of the trunk, and she's peeked out the bedroom door, and when she sees Billy and Zane, I'm trying really hard not to say Billy and then Zane right after.
She sees Billy Zane. She goes, "Why is Billy Zane here?"
Right.
He's not famous yet, is he?
She runs after them. She doesn't want them to know, because she doesn't want Zane to have the instinct to push her back, get her back in the trunk. All right.
Okay.
But she sees where they're going, and they're going to Zane's room, and she runs after them because she needs to be around the three of them all together.
Okay.
That's what
Strength
she's
in
thinking
numbers.
right now. I will reveal why in an appropriately dramatic moment.
Oh, very good. Very good. So, yeah, the four of you are in Zane's room. I imagine Dahlia has already started dialing.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Billy closes the door and locks it with that little thing. No, it's 90s.
Put the bed up against the door. Put the bed up against the door.
It's the kind of lock where you push the doorknob and then turn it slightly. So,
Jesus.
And as Billy's like doing,
and that's the lock.
yeah, and as Billy's doing that, like Amanda comes, slams the door open, and then runs inside and pushes it also, and then helps Zane with whatever bed or chair he's pushing up against the door, you know.
Chair's not gonna cut it. Chair's not gonna cut it.
You've reached 911, police, fire, ambulance.
Hi, this is Dahlia, and we are being invaded by men in black suits at the Bouchard's house.
They might be with these guys.
There's
The
robbers,
police
there's
might be
robbers,
in on it.
There's robbers. There's robbers coming into the house.
Okay. Thank you, Dahlia. I can help you out with that. I'm here with the Ontario Provincial Police, and we will be sending someone to you as soon as we can.
Needs to be right now.
where are you
They're
located?
here. They already hit Zane, and they hit
yep.
And they hit him, and we're hiding right now.
I think Zane
That's great.
Zane like slams his hand down on the thing to hang up the phone. And he says, "Dahlia, you don't think that they're already in on this? These guys are the police." He doesn't realize that they're probably not, but
Yeah.
And Amanda's kind of shaking her head. She says, "The police won't help us."
see?
Shit!
No, but
Yeah. Zane's like, "Whoa." Swear
so,
words.
what do we? What do we do?
There's thumping in the hallway.
Yeah. We have. I don't know what we're gonna do.
Dahlia,
I look out
Dahlia,
the window.
Dahlia,
We're on like the
Dahlia.
second floor, right?
Yes.
Or
Dahlia.
is this a 1-story or 2-story house? I don't know.
2-story house. You're upstairs.
Yep. But remember the bear.
Yes, I remember.
In the episode with the bear, with the prequel, Dahlia jumped out of the window of Billy's room, which was next to Zane's room, to go and punch this bear in the face. So I think that's just like we can go out the window.
We can't go out the window. All right.
To
Let's
give
tie
the
the
audience a
sheets.
small amount of context really fast, there was a bear in the backyard and it was attacking some
backyard.
kids, and Zane tried to stop it and failed, and Dahlia became literally a small town legend and jumped over and like punched the bear in the face and chased it off like a ninja, like a bear fighting ninja.
There was an article in the paper about it. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like a short little blurb.
And now all of like the punks and everything, they all respect me, even though I don't really care or want them to pay attention to me at all, because I literally do not like people paying attention to me.
But anyway,
It's so uncomfortable.
That's what the memory of Billy is evoking right now.
Thank you. So Billy starts trying to like get the window open, but it's like, we're dressed for inside, and it's winter outside. So as soon as the
Yeah,
window's
it's
open,
cold
it's
out
now
there.
cold. It's now cold in the room.
Yeah. Zane would probably have some winter wear in his room, but yeah, if you go out there, you can't be out there long.
We don't have boots.
He's gonna grab a coat, and put it on. He's gonna grab a coat for Amanda and be handing that to her and say, "Amanda, what are we dealing with here? Are these guys like, are they government mind control people? Are they going to erase our memories? How do we get out of here? You're the only one who knows anything about them."
She says, all I know is that I think they took my dad, and as she's saying this, you hear your door to your room like thumps, like boom, like somebody smacked it really hard. Open up!
What are we going to do?
No.
And Amanda looks at you all and says, I don't think I don't know if I can do this. And she looks at her hand, and she starts to kind of open and close it.
Yeah. You know where I'm going with this, I'm sure.
Yeah. You can take over if you want.
Yeah, so she's getting really like short of breath and heavy breathing, and she's panicking, right? Because she's scared of these people, and like you said, she's looking at her hands, and she's making fists and doing this, and then I think just as the door is being like cracked open or busted open, she throws her hands open, and right in front of all three of them, a big, like, crackling hole in space just opens up. It's like none of us have ever seen anything like this before, and it just opens up out of nowhere. There's just like shimmering light all around it and coming out of it and inside of it, and she grabs both whoever's next to her, Zane and Billy or whoever, and then looks at the third person and says, "We've got to go," and then shoves everybody through, and then
and Dahlia's like, BCB boys, boots, coats, bikes, let's go.
So, Bobby, can you roll 2d4? So what I have to do now is I have to set the difficulty for this, and I think I'm going to set it at a 5. So we've spent 1 psychic energy token to make this happen, and you're going to roll 2d4. If the difference between the rolls is 0 or negative, Amanda will suffer some sort of physical result, and we can spend psychic energy tokens after the fact to add pips to the roll.
Okay, so 2d4. Here we go. Just a regular old roll. We got a 2 and a 1.
Okay, so if the result is 1 or greater, the player taking the action has 2 options. Either the attempt fails, or the player chooses to spend more psychic energy tokens to increase the roll. So you are too short.
Well, we cannot fail.
Yeah. So you can spend 1 to put it to a 1, and then she has some sort of physical effect. Spend 2 to put it to a 5, and then there's no physical effect on her.
So if we spend 2 of our 7, so we've already spent 1. We've got 6 left. If I spend 2 more, then there would be no effect on her. You see?
Oh no, never mind. Sorry, I mixed it up. If it's 0 or negative, Amanda suffers a very minor physical result.
Okay.
But yeah, so you have to spend 2 to be successful.
Okay. So what?
Okay.
Explain to me one more time what the mechanic is here. We're subtracting the second die from the first one, or the?
No. So you have I set the DC at 5.
Oh, okay.
And you rolled a 3, so your difference is 2. You got to spend 2 psychic energy tokens, and then she's at 0.
Oh, that's I understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got to do this. So let's. I think we have to. I'm gonna go ahead and spend the 2 more. I feel like that's okay. 3 of these points because this is a big thing that's happening right now. You know.
This could be real bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the physical effect that happens to her is that her hand gets like black streaks on it.
Ooh.
And she cries out as though in pain was it her that pushed you all through?
Yeah.
Where did she put the other side of the portal?
Ooh. Where else would she? So it's late, right?
It's not that late. It's like
Like
5.
the news was just done.
Yeah.
I feel
Or
like
after 5.
because I'm thinking like she probably has to like think of a place, and she's new to town, so she probably knows Kirsten's house and the school really well.
School.
So
Yeah.
she probably
School.
would go to the school because it's after school and not Kirsten's house, where she would have to explain a dimensional portal opening up. So maybe inside the girls' bathroom inside the school.
I like that. Okay, very
Nice.
cool.
Good.
So you are inside the girls' bathroom, inside the high school, and you sort of just materialize into this place. There's no like portal behind you that's like these guys can't see through it or anything. And you see Amanda kind of lands on her hands, and you see the black spreading up her fingers, and she grabs her hand and holds it to herself and goes, "Ah, oh God."
Are you
Just happened.
are you okay?
She like rushes to the sink and turns on the cold water and like pours it over her hand. And as she does that, it starts to sort of fade away.
What in the world was?
Where are we? Bathroom. God. I gotta pee.
That's so Dahlia.
I think
And it's kind of like a moment of like,
Billy is like, I think, although we are not equipped for winter, we do have our backpacks, right? Because
I imagine so. Yeah,
you just always
Yeah,
have your
You have
backpack.
to have
So Billy will, he's looking in his backpack for rummaging around because he's got a lot of stuff in here. He's well prepared. So he's pulls out the, he has like one of those little tiny first aid kits. So he's going to try and help Amanda.
Okay.
With some
This
ointment.
Yeah, it's a weird injury, and you're able to kind of soothe it a little bit. And she looks at you and says,
I don't
"Oh,
recognize
thank
this
you."
He's kind of just doing things that he like. First aid, yes, I can do first aid.
And Zane's still a little befuddled by the fact that neither Billy nor Dahlia seem to be affected by the fact of what just happened.
Cool.
What just happened?
What do you think just happened? She's got superpowers, and I'm yelling this from in the stall.
That's your penis.
She's got superpowers, and now we're effed. We're effed right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh God.
We went through a tunnel, and now we're in a bathroom. What bathroom is this?
We're at school. This is school.
This is not
I
the
couldn't
school I
think of any-
recognize.
This is our school. This is my school, Zane's school, the high school.
We can't be in the girls' bathroom.
Oh my God.
That's the best.
That was the perfect reaction.
If I could give out plot points.
That was so good.
That was awesome.
She's like I could feel exactly what Amanda was feeling right in that moment.
Yeah, like you like look at the pink tiles on the walls and you feel so uncomfortable. You're like, it's so weird.
Okay.
Okay. Look, these guys chased my. This is kind. She's like really like she's getting kind of water everywhere, and she kind of crumples down against the wall. And looks up at you and says, "Okay."
I'm thinking about doing a cool under pressure roll
Okay.
to try and get some ideas on what to do next.
Yeah, Zane is definitely not cool under this pressure right now. He's struggling to keep it together.
So once Dahlia's out of the stall, it would be like, okay, I need some shoes. What do we do now?
All right.
We need a plan.
So let's see.
Yeah, okay. I'll defer to your plan. I think Amanda's having like kind of a panic attack. She's like hyperventilating and leaned up against the wall right now.
Okay, here's what we do. Zane!
What?
Do you have a lost and found in your school?
A lost and...
Do you have a lost and found in your school?
One of Zane's flaws, and it's gonna be triggered right now because he's like he was keeping it together and being protective on his home turf and everything, but he's like now that they're in a place where there's no immediate danger and like everything's coming to like he's sort of like he's not and he's defaulting to a lot of his flaws, which one of them is hot-tempered. He's gonna be like, what do I... A lost and found? What are you talking about?
Look, lost and found is where I get all of the clothes, like, that I get whenever people leave, like, they lose their nice shirts and shit. That's where I get my nice clothes from, okay? Lost and found, if we go there, there's clothes there.
We can get stuff.
Change our clothes, and then they won't recognize us, and then we can find some place to hide.
I've never, ever lost anything. I don't know where the lost and found is. But if I had to guess, it's probably in the front office, which is probably locked.
Oh, this is amazing.
Because no joke. That's where Dahlia finds clothes whenever she just raids their lost and found.
No, it's a great
Whatever.
idea. Out of character, it's a great idea.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and Amanda's like, she's like,
Dahlia.
Yes, Billy.
Zane,
Are you okay?
where's? We gotta find Mom and Dad. Dahlia, can we call your house? Maybe your dad can pick us up.
We're not calling anybody. They probably got the phone lines tapped or something. Zane,
okay. not at the school.
Listen, we will go to the lost and found because we can't stay here at the school. We got to do something, but it's snowing outside. He looks at Amanda and he says, "We got to calm down, Amanda. Look, here, hold on. He opens up his backpack. He pulls out his Walkman, and he loads up the most calming song that he can think of right now, which is on his new Boys to Men tape.
Is it Make Love to Me?
Yeah, exactly. So he says, "Listen," and he's deadly serious right now. He says, "Listen to this. It'll calm you down. Okay."
Okay, can you roll charm?
That's so good.
Absolutely.
I think this is gonna be a fairly high DC again, probably a 10, because she's like nearly. Nah, let's make it an 8. I'll make it an 8.
All right.
Oh my god.
All right, here we go.
Come on, Zane.
Yes.
Oh, bam. Okay, describe how you calm her down. Incredibly.
So he rips it because he's heard the music before, right? Who hasn't? So he opens up the cellophane wrapping for the first time, and he pops it into his Walkman, which is very clean and shiny, and he takes out his headphones and plugs them in, and slowly, carefully puts them over her ears, like probably over her hair, like, and then presses play, and then realizes that he doesn't know what track it's supposed to be, so he's hoping it's. But anyway, he gets it, and he holds her shoulders and looks directly at her, and like takes calm and deliberate breaths, like.
And she makes eye contact with you and is like struggling to calm down, and her breathing kind of gradually slows, and she kind of touches the earphones, and she looks up at you and takes them off and says, "This music is terrible."
Right?
But it worked, right?
She kind of lets it aside and says, Okay, yeah, you're right. We need some clothes. We need to get somewhere safe, somewhere they don't expect you to go.
All right, let's head to the front office. We'll figure out what we need to do from there.
Off you go.
All right, we go.
So you go to the front office. It is indeed locked.
Anybody have
Man,
lock
I really wish I had. I really wish I had some adversity to. What stat is lock picking?
I'm not sure.
They gave an example of lock picking in the
They
book, and I
did,
think
they
it was
did.
brains.
That's
Oh, how handy.
Billy, this lock looks so easy. Remember, we practiced on the other one in the
No, we didn't.
Nothing. We didn't practice.
And
it's fine. It's fine.
I
Dahlia.
look at Zane because I look at Zane. It's a.
it's for a project, and then he's like, I need a poking thingy.
A poking thingy.
to.
Amanda takes a bobby pin out of her hair and hands it to you.
And so first he's got to break the like safety nubs off the end, and then thank you, and then he straightens it out, and he's gonna try and pick this lock with a bobby pin. All right.
I think this will be an 8.
Let's do this. Oh no, I fail. But
Well, there's your token.
Well, I have the strength of easygoing, so every time I fail, I get 2.
Ooh,
two adversity tokens.
Very cool.
So-
I will add. You can use adversity tokens to add points to your score, so you can.
Yes, I
obviously
think.
not this specific one, but yeah.
I think what he's failed to. This is too hard. I can't. And then he's wait. And then I'm gonna spend my 2 adversity tokens to use my other strength, which is prepared.
Okay.
And I don't know which of the 2 ideas I had is better. So either he's got an actual like lock picking kit in his backpack, or this door has a large portion of glass on it, and he's got a thing that emergency breaks car windows.
I feel like he would have the break car window thing.
Yeah.
I
I
Okay.
feel like that's
deal.
more of
Seems
a
more likely,
preparedness
yeah.
thing, and
This-
not like a prepared to steal things. Dahlia hasn't rubbed
100%.
off on him that much.
Well, I feel like a lockpick.
I think you're right.
Feel like a lockpick set would be the kind of thing that Billy would find if he found would be like, this is awesome, and would keep it.
Oh yeah, totally.
But I think maybe it's just more likely that he came across like an emergency glass
I'm-
A
break.
bludgeoning
yeah.
tool.
Yeah, an emergency. Well, it's part of like car emergency
Yeah,
kit, right?
Yeah, it's one of those things where you just like put it up and press button and it does something that just
It's
shatters
down.
everything.
It's
Okay,
got
so
other
he-
uses that Billy would
he
want.
digs
Not only
down.
is he prepared, but it also you can
Oh,
scratch.
actually-
you can etch glass with it. And,
I was gonna say he's got this makes sense. He's got in his backpack already, without spending these tokens, a book about the geology of Northern Ontario. So I feel as though he's got a rock hammer, which is a pick on one side and a hammer on the other side, which is basically the same thing as what the glass breaking thing is.
oh, there you go.
Okay. Okay.
So I think at this point he digs down in his backpack, right, and he takes something. He takes first thing he pulls out is a stone axe, and he is. Dahlia, can you hold this?
Yeah, okay, I'll hold this. And I put it in my backpack.
And then he's digging down more, and he pulls out and just dumps it on the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4. No less than 5 smushed up, chewy Quaker granola bars that have just been in here, so that he's prepared in case he needs travel snacks. And then finally, down in the bottom, he pulls out this geology hammer, and he's just like, "Oh,
You haven't even had a chance to use it yet.
we're gonna be in such trouble." And then he smashes the glass on this door to reach in, and then he said, "Zane, I'm too short. Can you reach the handle?
What?
Open
Oh.
the door."
Oh.
He's
He's-
shocked that we've
he's
broken
like-
the glass.
Billy is just like so amped
Yeah.
at the moment. Like Zane is dealing with it through anger, and
Yeah.
Billy is just dealing with it through like hyperactivity almost.
All right. Zane reaches in and opens the door.
All right. Now, generally, Lost and Found is going to be next to the nurse's office.
Yeah, so you hunt around for a little bit and you manage to track down Lost and Found. These are Lost and Found for kids age 13 to 18.
Yeah.
We'll just roll up the cuffs. It'll be fine.
I mean, we need I need a jacket and like some boots and maybe gloves. It just doesn't matter if they're the same. Just find some.
Yeah, you fully outfit yourself. You clash and don't look great, and Billy and Dahlia especially have like very floppy outfits that are too big for them. What is the best item in there that Zane claims first.
Well, Zane has his jacket. Zane,
that's right, you
Zane
grabbed it and
grabbed
Amanda
the
had one
jacket
too.
for him and Amanda. So he doesn't have boots. I don't know what winter is like in Canada. I live in South Carolina, where winter is like
You can
fall.
still wear your flip flops.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's December in Northern Ontario. At this point, no one can see out of their driveways when they're trying to pull out because the snowbanks are taller than cars.
All right.
So
Yeah,
that'll
deep
give you an
snow.
idea.
And it's 5:15. That means it's already pitch black outside.
So are boots important, is what I'm asking.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes.
I mean, unless we're going to stay entirely walking on the street where the cars drive.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna want those.
Yeah, you'd get frostbite without boots and mitts and hat and all that stuff. But you're able to find it all.
Yeah.
We don't have to go through that. But yeah, it doesn't look good. Let's just say that much. You look very mismatched.
That's
Zane,
all right.
you should wear this ski mask. That way people won't recognize you. And then whenever they see, like, oh, they don't match at all, they won't know it's you.
Okay. I grabbed the ski mask. I'm not in a frame of mind to think about whether this is a good idea or not.
it smells weird.
Oh, like gym bag and cheeseburgers.
Okay, where can we go?
Oh.
We could go to my house.
Yes, I think that's a good idea.
Billy,
No
what
one-
about Mom and Dad?
I don't.
They're adults. They can handle their own stuff.
We can't. I mean, we could try to call, but we can't call home. We can't call. They can't call work. We'll just have to go. I mean, Dahlia's dad should be at home.
What does Dahlia's dad do?
I think that Dahlia's dad is definitely a manual labor dude, for sure. I don't necessarily think maybe construction, but something else like that. Like, he probably goes and works on other people's farms and stuff. Like, he's probably a mechanic for their, like, machinery.
Odd job kind of guy?
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't work for the paper mill or the uranium mine.
No, he wants
two
to.
major
He
employers.
he 100% for sure never wants to work for a company. He only wants to work for himself. Because
mean,
that's the way a real man does it.
He might occasionally get a job at the paper mill. Like, hey,
Yeah,
come fix this thing here.
Come and fix things.
But-
yeah,
but
and that's
but it's a-
literally
but
what
it's
he
a
says
contract.
though, because that's
A real man.
what a
works
real
for
man does.
Is he like an aging hippie? Like, I'm not gonna work for the man kind of thing?
A little bit. But if an aging hippie was also like a dude who would get into a bar fight, those two things together.
An aging redneck hippie?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's Northern Ontario. That's
Yeah.
completely on brand.
Okay, love it. Okay, awesome. So, you how do you get there?
Do people looking at Zane?
Zane. So, do high schoolers always ride their bikes? Or do they, like, ride their bikes and then they'll leave them here for a while and then, come for them?
High schoolers do. Everyone rides bikes in this town.
I don't know.
The
Oh god, riding bikes in the snow.
it doesn't.
Well, do you want to walk?
I mean,
These
what
are all
choice do we
bad.
have?
I mean, we gotta go in the back woods, man. I don't want to walk through that.
If you're going through the backwoods, you better steal some snowshoes from the school.
For sure.
Yes. Well, we already broke into one place. We might as well go to the sports center, huh?
We're not breaking into places. Okay. We're gonna have to walk. I don't think that this is bike riding weather. It's night,
No,
and
can-
probably there aren't any bikes here.
I think too, though, Dahlia being like the kid, like very resourceful kind of thing. She's definitely ridden her bike in the winter because she had no other option. So she's like kind of like pussies.
A little bit.
She won't call her best friend that because that's not what best friends do.
But so Billy's like, okay, well, if we want to go straight there, we can cut through the woods, and it should be fine. Because I know the way. I've got my compass, and he's I've done it once or twice, like to your house from our school. So
It shouldn't be too hard.
yeah, we just have to as long as we can see a little bit.
All right. Well, let's do it. What do we do? Let's do it. We gotta go somewhere. We can't stay here. If somebody finds out that we're here and we broke into the office, then we're gonna have more problems than the Men in Black.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so you track down some snowshoes, strap them on, and trek your way through the snow. Can everybody roll grit for me?
Oh yeah.
Oh boy, Zane is not very gritty.
I hope that I
get a
roll
6.
good. I hope that I roll good on my grit because that's my highest one. I'll be sad if it rolls a 1 or a 2.
Ooh, yes.
14. You guys ready?
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 1.
Oh, Zane. Oh,
Zane.
I thought you played hockey.
It's very on brand.
It is very on brand.
Must be a center.
So
Zane
you
doesn't
set
really play
out-
hockey. He kind of like just he acts like he wants to play hockey, but then he always has an excuse for why he didn't make tryouts.
Oh no. Oh my God.
So okay.
Oh,
All of you are able to manage this except for Zane.
Zane, snowshoes break off.
Yeah, I think Zane, you spend a really long time picking out the best looking snowshoes, but they're a size too small for you. So you like you're kind of sinking down into the snow. And so I think the result of this is that it takes you about twice as long. You fall down a couple of times. And Amanda comes up beside you and is like, seriously? Again? And picks you up.
Like, I mean, she's from Toronto. She's never even done this before. Zane.
From Toronto.
I've done this before.
Yeah. Sorry, it's just.
And now, like, Billy is just completely shut down by that.
As-
Billy.
As
Don't worry,
a
Billy.
Southeastern American, it's just funny to me everything in Canada is all snow in my mind. But anyway, yeah, I'm like Zane is complaining like about how he's gonna get frost, like he's gonna the cold is going to blister the skin on his face, and he's he left his moisturizer at home. And
Somebody got his chapstick.
yeah.
Yeah, Amanda is just like, it's like, are you kidding me? Do you realize what's happening here? How can you be complaining about moisturizer? God.
There
It's
are things. We live in a society.
So she's she's like
Society.
she's like she rolls her eyes and says, okay, fine, Barbie doll, and just like stop, like she's sort of helping you up, and then she lets you go, so you kind of fall back into the snow and keeps walking.
I pull myself
think-
up and start trudging through the snow somewhere.
Billy's sort of leading the way in terms of like navigation, but Dahlia's doing better at the walking bit. But at this point, he's like not even like saying anything to anyone else because he's gone full introvert now. So
I'm
just,
so embarrassed.
yeah, so he's just trudging.
She's from Toronto.
Mhm.
Okay, so you make it to Dahlia's house. What do they see? What does it look like?
Oh gosh. It's definitely a log cabin.
Mm.
It's definitely that. Built by my dad and my mom when she was alive. When they first got together, this was their little homestead. You hear lots and lots of birds before you even get close to the place. And then you see there are several what would be best known as bird houses, but they're not houses, they're like bird barns.
Rookeries.
Rookeries. Thank you for actually having the real word. She calls them bird barns, by the way, so that's exactly what Dahlia's going to call them. And there's some inside, but most there's crows that come out and they're on the branches, and it's literally like this house is surrounded by fucking crows, man. it's a little ominous. And there's a rusted out heavy duty pickup truck that's parked next to the house. There's a not quite a barn, not quite a shed, somewhere in between the two where he stores all of his big equipment. But yeah, so it's aside from the crows and the complete like you're in redneck country now boy mentality, like it seems pretty welcoming considering the circumstances.
All right.
Yeah.
So you make it up to the front door. Your dad has not shoveled yet. You see his footprints heading into the. So like when you open the door, like a third of the door is like dragging through snow.
Nice. I'll just use my like snowshoes to kind of like start clearing stuff away so we don't bring snow into the house. So, but yeah, it's like a. I guess what would be close to be like there's a main room. The kitchen is part of the main room. There's a small room off where there's the bathroom area, and then there's two rooms. One is my bedroom and one is his bedroom, and that's it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you have a phone? Is that a weird question? I just feel like
I don't know. That's a good question.
I feel like phone, yes, but like
Phone, yeah.
TV.
TV
One
is like the
channel with
old.
the aerial,
Yeah.
Okay,
exactly.
okay.
Yeah. So telephone, yes. TV is
think-
like the super old, scary looking big box ones that you have to go up and like adjust the channels and stuff.
Sorry, go ahead.
I do want to say before we go, I have my prop. I showed you guys earlier, but there is one birdhouse that's not big enough for crows, and it looks like this. It's a little tea kettle. It's got little buttons on it, and then a mouth for the birds to puke out of.
Who
Dahlia
made that
made
bird
that.
barn? Dahlia made it. Got it.
I was gonna say in regards to telephone, when Dahlia's mother was alive, there was no way she was going to have a baby in the house without a phone line for emergency services, at least.
True.
Yeah, that was the final, because her husband didn't want it, but
Yeah.
There's a payphone
have-
downtown.
Exactly. We have the same phone. We only got one phone, and it's the same phone we've had for my entire life.
I bet it's a rotary phone for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, cool. You come in and your dad is you've got like a wood burning stove in the corner, and he's stoking it, and he's got a couple things, like he's cooking on top of this wood burning stove.
Hey, Da.
Oh, hey, sweet. Oh, hi.
Hi. I brought my friends over.
Oh, okay. Well,
Sorry, I didn't have a chance to call because there wasn't a phone.
What's the family name?
I was about to ask too.
I don't think we made up one.
we maybe didn't.
No, we maybe didn't. What's a good Canadian redneck hippie name?
Take your pick.
Right?
Kenny?
Kenny? Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's do it.
Good reference.
Kenny.
All right. Perfect. Yeah. So Kenny.
Dahlia Kenny.
Dahlia Kenny.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Kenny. Nice to see you.
Hi. And he kind of looks around, and it's a little disheveled in here. Not necessarily dirty, but just kind of disorganized. Things are messy and sort of all over the place. And he scrounges up like 2 chairs and a stool, and then like a one of his like wood blocks that isn't fully chopped yet, like a stump. And says, come on in, have a seat. Do any of you want soup?
Oh, soup would be
Soup would be
amazing, sir. It's
Great.
very cold
Super
outside.
Great, Dad.
So he pops open a couple of cans, and adds them to the pot, and starts cooking up some soup.
So,
Billy is just
Yeah.
sitting quietly.
Yeah, everybody's sort of like sitting
kinda like,
really
uh,
quietly.
So what happened? What brings y'all here?
Oh, you know,
so,
go. Yeah, you
don't be
said-
mad,
yeah,
Dad.
Okay.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad.
What, Dahlia?
So, did you hear about the whole plane crash thing that happened?
Oh,
Zane's
yes,
on
I
edge
did.
suddenly. Like, what is she going to tell him?
She's like, oh shit. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I mean, that's terrible, isn't it? I mean,
So the guys in black. You know who I'm talking about.
oh yeah. I
They're
knew they'd
coming.
show up.
They're coming for the Bouchards, and I had to get them out of there.
They were coming for your family? What? Why? What happened?
Well, we
I
don't know
don't know.
we don't know what's going on. We don't know that.
Huh.
I'm telling you, Dot, it's not good. They broke into the house. They hit me in the
What?
face. They hit Zane with the door. Billy, he was the hero. He totally just punched this guy in the gut and knocked him down the stairs. It was amazing, Dad. Should have seen it.
Wow, Billy, I didn't know you had it in you. That's wow. Sorry, I haven't met your other friend. And he goes and extends a hand to Amanda.
Oh, this is Zane's girlfriend. She was at the house helping him study.
What?
No. I'm
Yeah,
just.
this is Amanda. We have an English project together.
Yeah, I'm not anybody's girlfriend. I'm just.
Yeah. And Billy, what he did, what Dahlia said is true, and then we escaped the house and ran away. And I as I'm saying that, I sort of look directly at Dahlia with a very serious look and shake my head like this.
And she just nods and mouths, "Trust me, I know my da."
And as she mouths it, it's totally inscrutable to Zane. He has no idea what she said. She's like,
Right.
and you're like, what?
Yeah.
There's sort of an awkward pause, and Mr. Kenny says, "Well, I will have to call your parents and make sure you're home safe. Yeah, I mean, what are they still there? Do you know where they are?"
That's a great question. One that I would like to answer as well.
We don't know where they are, Da. They came when they weren't home.
What about you, Amanda? Do you know where your parents are? And Amanda kind of just shakes her head and eats her soup.
Amanda lives with her cousin. So my mom was at the airport when that plane crash happened, and she was in the news talking about it, but I haven't heard from her or our dad since. So we would like to find out what's going on with them. All we know is that these guys, we just need. I want to know what's. I'm starting to get worried.
Yeah, he kind of nods and says, "Absolutely." And Amanda says, "I think you're right, Zane. It this could be bad. We should probably find your parents."
Do we want to call?
I mean, I know my mom's work
Can
number,
we call
but
without them?
there's a lot of stuff going on there right now, you know?
Hmm.
Sorry, who were you saying you want to call?
I was just like, do we want to try to call like the mine?
I would
maybe
there's a lot
'cause
going
at
on at the
least-
airport. So let's
at
not
least
call my
Dad's
mom's
work
work
didn't
number.
get
Let's
knocked
call
down.
Dad. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and you saw like the tower on the news, the tower is like crushed.
Yeah.
And that's like the whole airport is a control tower.
Do you think it's safe to call from here, Da?
Yeah, no, you know how I am. I make sure it's safe. And by that he means he checks for taps every month or so. He's like, "I just checked yesterday. We're fine."
Good.
Right.
So you're calling the mine, hey?
Yeah, I'll call the mine. Do you guys remember a time when you actually knew phone numbers?
I do remember.
I do. I still
I still know
know,
my
like,
parents'
phone
home phone
numbers.
number. Yeah.
that don't exist
Yeah.
anymore
I
because
used
of
to
that.
know them.
Yeah.
Same.
So as Zane gets to the phone and is calling, Dahlia's gonna sit next to Billy and is gonna put her arm around him because he looks very uncomfortable, and so she's gonna like kind of sit with him and keep him comfortable because he's had a really, really rough day, and I like to take care of my best friend.
How's Amanda looking right now? Is she looking
She's kind of
worried?
wringing her hands. She's sort of looking off into the corner. She kind of keeps checking the door.
So before, as I go off to the phone, or as I'm going off to the phone, I'll reach into my backpack and grab the Walkman, and I'll toss it to her, and then I'll toss her, instead of the Boys to Men tape, I'll toss her the Rage Against the Machine tape.
Nice.
And
She's
I'll just nod to her and then head to the phone.
All right, she plugged it in. She looks grateful. Yeah, so you ring up the mine, and there's no answer.
Nobody's answering at the mine. Nobody's answering at Dad's work, Billy.
Oh. Okay.
Maybe I can try the
airport?
The airport office. I know the tower's down, but I'll try that.
You try and you get a busy signal.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, and Mr. Kenny, he's kind of cleaning up, and he says, "Well, maybe we can see if there's any news." And so he turns on a radio, and kind of is like,
It's ready.
extending antenna. Yeah, yeah, and that kind
Adjusting
of starts
the
going
tinfoil on the antenna.
No, I think and I think Billy has been around the house a couple of times to know. So he goes and stands next to it and holds the end of it like this, so that he's also part of the antenna
in the spot that he's supposed to stand.
Because it only works for Billy.
Yeah.
It doesn't work
I've got
for
the
me.
right, got the right content.
So you hear a similar story a couple of times as you're listening and talking and winding down a little. So you hear this what's the word I'm looking for? You hear this audio from your mom. And you've heard this already. They told me to clear the railway, to clear the runway since they'd be coming in, and then they apologized. I ran from the tower. I heard trees snapping, and it cuts her off right there. they keep playing this over and over. Can I get an intelligence roll?
A brain
Brains, that is.
Brains. Sorry.
from everyone, or
Well, who's paying attention to this? That's my question.
The guy
I
holding the
imagine Billy
antenna
would be, for sure.
with a 22.
Holy moly!
I am, but I mean, Billy's the one who always
Billy's
listens
really
to the
paying
news
attention.
for the
I mean,
both of us. So
he's like so anxious right now that he's like, I hold the thing and I will just listen to the word, and then it's like, oh, that's mom. Okay, I'm like hyper focusing on like we can't find mom right now, so that's concerning. So I'm just listening to her talk.
And you hear this over and over, and you don't really think about it because they're kind of running it really frequently. This is the one thing that on CXYW that has happened 92.8 since ever. So the DJs are just playing this over and over. This just in. I don't know if you've heard Barbara Bouchard. Let's play the clip. And so they play this over and over. And then one time they play an extended clip. And so you get that cutoff, and then the DJ kind of cuts in and says a couple of things, and then it plays the next part of her audio, which is also cut off at the start. And I don't know what happened, but I hope everyone else is all right. And you get this, like, there's something missing from this. Billy is mystified, but they cut her off in the middle, and she said everyone else is all right. Like, she already knew that people had died. There's something wrong about how she says it.
Guys, this
What's up, Billy?
this is edited weird.
That's what that was?
I'm hanging up the phone.
I noticed I noticed it before too, and it's like mom cuts off, and then one time she said like some more stuff after, and it was like from the live show, they like cut her off and then they came back and she was saying something different. And he like tries to organize his thoughts, and he's like, it's like what she was saying isn't all there. And trying to put that in 11-year-old vocabulary was very difficult. It's like, I want to say it's an incomplete thought.
yeah. So the Mr. Kenny, he's been dubbing this the whole time. So he rolls the cassette back, and you listen to it a few times, and you all kind of hear this cut in between. And your mom, like, you just kind of get a gut sense she wouldn't talk like this. And Amanda, she gets kind of a worried look on her face and says, I think maybe I should call home. They're going to be worried about me, and I'm worried about them. I don't know if your parents are missing, they're looking for you. They knew where I was. They knew I was at your house.
They didn't know. We made sure that you didn't. You got hit. Oh.
But she's right, Dahlia. They were there. I hadn't really put that together. They were probably there looking for her. That's where I think you're right. I think you're right.
Do you think Amanda brought the plane down?
No, I didn't bring a plane down.
No,
that
but they're
doesn't
looking
make
for
it-
Dahlia, so they'd probably go to Kirsten's house next looking for her.
You mean Amanda? I'm right here.
What?
You said Dahlia.
It's a stressful situation.
Sometimes I forget things. Yeah, so she okay, yeah, I think she goes ahead and calls. And I'm trying to leave her open a little bit for you guys as well, in case you wanted to invoke any of her aspects. So
man.
feel free to use that if you want.
I don't
I know it's a
have
bit of an
any.
unusual.
Yeah, I don't have any in mind. I choose to use at the moment.
For sure.
I don't feel like one, like I could use one, but I don't feel necessarily like it would fit into this situation because she is acting very concerned. So
Right.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so she calls and
I have a thought. I'll ping you.
okay. Yeah, so she calls and she's got like a she really worried look on her face. And when the phone is answered, she goes, "Kirsten, no, I'm fine. I'm at a friend's house." "Yes, I have friends."
Don't. I shake my head violently. Don't tell her where you are.
Yeah. Okay. No. I'll be fine. Are you okay? Oh, all right. Yeah. I'll be home in probably like half an hour. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Bye. She hangs up and she looks at you and says, "I can't go home," and starts crying.
What happened?
They got to them. I don't know. She was acting really weird and she was saying things that don't make any sense. And she sounded really scared. And they're there. I think they're there. I think they're at my house.
You think they were telling her what to say or something?
Yes. And she's like, "I can't believe this is happening again." And she just breaks down.
Amanda, why are they looking for you?
She kind of looks over at Mr. Kenny and then looks back at Dahlia.
You can trust my da.
And she
Da,
she says,
don't be mad.
"Aw, sweetie, I could never be mad at you." And and he says, and he goes, you know what, dear," and kind of like claps a meaty hand on Amanda's shoulders, and he says, they're out to get us. I know. They're looking for people who it's not good out there. It's fine. You can trust me. I understand what the government is capable of. And so she says, my dad's a physicist. He was researching something to do with I don't really know, something to do with nuclear things. And when I was younger, I started to be able to do. I could reach beyond where most people could. And she kind of takes her hand and it starts to kind of blacken a little bit, and she creates a tiny little portal right above her hand, and she pops it in, and then behind Mr. Kenny, there's an empty soup can, and you see her hand emerge and like, and it goes down on the floor, and then she pulls her hand back out and says, but something about that, I don't know, they were interested in my dad's work, but then when they saw what I could do, I didn't mean to show them. I was just there to see my dad, and I was messing around, and he told me not to use it in front of anybody, but they were talking to dad about something, and then he told me to leave, and he sent me home on the train, and I got home, and then I never saw him again. And I think they took him. He left a note saying that he'd left my mom, but it was not, he would never have done that. It's not, they have him somewhere, or they're making him do, I don't know. They're making him do something. And he has I don't know what he's doing right now, but I don't think your parents are safe. And he has Kirsten. And she starts crying again.
And now they're looking for our parents are involved.
Maybe. I mean, you're
This is all my fault. I'm so sorry. I did not. We just have to do a stupid English assignment. I wish.
It's not your fault.
Yes, it is.
If you'd been at home instead of at our house, they'd probably have you right now too, right? If instead you came over here, we're quick thinking Bouchard's got you out of there. Well, I mean,
That's
you
right.
got us out of there, but
Quick thinking Bouchard. She kind of
Zane turning on the charm.
as per usual, she kind of like smiles like a little bit and then wipes away a tear.
Look, it doesn't matter what happened. It doesn't matter whose fault it is. We're here now, and we're going to figure out what we got to do to make sure that these guys don't, get you or kill our parents.
Yeah, I'll push him down some more stairs.
Yeah.
Mr. Kenny, go ahead.
Oh, I think I'd like to invoke that aspect that I messaged you. I think
Okay.
I think this is it. I think this is the time.
Okay. Go for it. Go for it.
So you say like all that Amanda hears is that you are going to protect her.
I think I know the one you're about.
And she has this like realization that this is maybe like the first or second time in her life that anyone has said that they were going to be there for her after they knew what she could do.
I wish we had like the rights to Boyz II Men's "I'll Make Love to You."
Right?
I would totally play this in the background right now.
And so, as you finish, she says, you would really do that for me? But I could have killed people.
But you didn't.
I mean, that guy could have broken his neck falling down the stairs. And then he's kind of wish he did break his neck falling down the stairs.
Billy almost did kill someone, and I wanted to kill that guy.
Don't say that.
Dahlia's like, don't say that about Billy. He wouldn't do anything like that. I would.
Look, you didn't hurt anybody. You helped the three of us. And I put my arm on her shoulder, and I say, like it or not, we're all in this together now.
And so, instead of putting her hand on your shoulder, she puts her hand on your hand on her shoulder.
So far, Zane is oblivious to that. Like, he's used to being the one, like, to only ever, like, paying attention to things like that because he's usually, like, putting the move, like, so he's not in that frame of mind right now. So, like,
yeah. He doesn't quite get it.
Yeah.
So there's there's a little moment. So go ahead and say what the aspect is that you.
Oh man, so the aspect is that our friend Amanda has immediately bonded to a member of our group, the said Zane. He's got you, man.
I think too that Amanda is a little bit surprised
Mhm.
because she really is not like she's unimpressed with this Guys, she's from Toronto, okay?
She is from Toronto, and it's not even like oh, this guy's really cute and everything. It's like, this guy is gonna stand up for me, and I'm the new kid in town, and I'm the one that doesn't have any rep or anything like that, and this guy who's supposed to be super popular has just said that he's gonna protect me. I feel pretty damn special.
That's because my brother has a secret heart of gold that he that he hides to be cool.
Also, Zane is pretty charming. So.
Truly is.
Truly charming.
And as Janet Jackson once said, that's the way love goes.
So.
Oh my goodness. Wonderful.
Amanda, and this is the second time I think that you've calmed her down. And given her like a chance to have some space to breathe, and so Amanda squeezes Zane's hand and nods. And the phone rings.
I feel like the cinematically appropriate thing is that everyone looks at the phone.
For sure.
Who picks it up?
I'll grab it.
Wait.
Huh?
Wait. What if it's them? They'll know your voice, and then they'll know we're here. Di, you have to answer it.
Ring. Okay.
I just grab it and I go. Hello.
You hear the gravelly voice of Investigator Grist on the other side, and he says, "Oh, it's you again."
You mean Mr. Kenny?
Mr. Kenny, thank you. I'll good to meet you, Mr. Kenny. Look, we just need to speak with Amanda. Is she home right now?
Excuse me. Amanda, there's no Amanda that lives here.
All right, well, you let her know we're going to find her sooner or later. Click.
Damn it, she was on the phone too long.
I hang up. I
We'll
say,
trace it back.
"No, don't worry. I just told him that she doesn't live. That she's not here."
And Mr. Kenny's like freaking out. He's like, oh my gosh, they found me? How did they find me? I have an unlisted number. You can't even star 69 my number.
Oh, that's such a good reference. I love it.
And he's like freaking out, and so he starts like, he goes into his bedroom, and you hear him kind of rummaging around.
Oh man, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
We can't stay here.
Oh God. Mr. Kenny comes back, and he has like a full loadout. He has like 3 long guns and a crossbow, and they're like all like he's got in various holsters around, and he
Zane goes, "Good thinking, Mr. Kenny. I'll take one of those."
And as you reach, he like smacks your hand away and says, "Simmer down, Zane. You gave them my name. They are going to find us sooner or later." And he's pulling on like bearskin jacket, and like this guy, like this is a backwoods hunting man.
He's got his
And
go
our-
bag.
We got the go bag. I gotta
Yeah.
go to my room and get my go bag stuff
Oh,
sorted
yeah, you
out.
know
So
the
that's
drill.
where so I'm like, oh shit, this is
drill.
real now. We
Yeah.
have to find a new house. Okay.
He's like packing hardtack into his backpack, and he says, I know a place we can go, but we're gonna have to hope for snow because they're gonna be able to find us in a second out here.
Wait, Amanda. Can you
Yeah.
only go to places you've seen before?
She's probably
I mean, I've
pretty
never-
spent at this point, right?
Her hand is still a little bit shaky. Yeah, she has 4 points left for mechanical purposes. I guess I can. Yeah, I can. Maybe I've never tried it before. That would be really hard, and
Okay,
I'm
well,
really
maybe
tired.
that's not a good idea.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I think we've got some time if we just go, right? Right, Mr. Kenny? Where are you thinking how far away is this place?
My hunting cabin, my trapping cabin. It's I don't know, 3-hour hike.
Can we? Billy, for 1 second, forgets the situation and thinks about something positive, and then remembers during the sentence. He's like, "Oh, can we? Can we ride the ski-doo?"
He kind of does one of these and says, "Well, easier to track, but then we'll get out faster."
Not. I mean, we could. There's all sorts of trails. We could just follow another.
Yeah, okay. So he he kind of like gets all this stuff together and he says, "Yeah, easier carry for sure. Okay." And he kind of takes you outside to the ski-doo, and it is like maybe 30 years old.
Yes.
It's super loud.
So,
Yes.
and before we get everything ready to go, like I've got my bug out bag. I've got so it's I've got everything that he packed in there. We have to go through it like every 3 months and rotate things out and then put stuff in. And I've got my big bear jacket and then I bring one out and I hand it over to Billy. It's like, here, I made this for you.
Oh,
Awesome.
thank you. And he just sort of takes it and is ready to go.
And I think he ties like a sled to the back of it, and he's like gonna tow you guys out because one person can sit, like Dahlia can sit up at the front, but the other 3 have to be towed behind.
Yeah, Zane is all for it, whatever it takes. He's remembering the last time he had to trek through the snow, so.
Yeah, that's no shame. Yeah, so yeah, Palmer's got a good photo. That is too current for this. This is like a 1960s snowmobile. So yeah, you all load up, and he douses the fire, and he does one last really weird thing. He climbs up to his rookeries, and takes out a couple of crows and kind of launches them off into the air. And then pops back down, says, "Everybody ready?
Let's
No.
do it.
Ready?
You can
Yes.
do it, Billy." And Billy's like, "Rah!"
I pulled down my borrowed ski mask.
This is the perfect time to have it.
It smells like cheeseburger. Yeah, and I think we've got Billy is there, and Zane's kind of hanging on to Billy, and Amanda is behind Zane, holding tight around his waist. And I think that we will end it right there.
It's so awesome.
Man,
All right.
I wish I could draw better. I want to like draw that image, you know.
Yes, totally.
We accept any and all fan art.
Yeah, right.
Yes, we sure do.
That would be awesome. That would be a good one to draw.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's so great. That went a lot of places I didn't expect.
Oh.
Fabulous.
I'm having
That was
so much
awesome.
fun so far.
Yes.
And
That was so
and
ridiculous.
I really am a fan of Amanda already. So
Good.
She's great.
Yeah, she's pretty cool. I like her a lot.
Awesome.
It's gonna be pretty good.
Sweet. Well, good work, everybody.
Yes.
Yeah, let's close out and pump ourselves up and tell everybody how great we are. And thanks, Chad. I know there's a few people that were dipping in and out, and a few people that stuck around the whole time that are.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah,
It was,
great to see
awesome.
everyone.
Awesome.
Absolutely. And those of you who are still here, if you haven't already followed the Shadowcasters Network on Twitch, you should do that because you'll get to know when we go live. And this, for anybody who does listen to our stuff on the regular, we do a lot of every other week shows. This one's different. We're doing this weekly. So we will be back
Yes.
next Tuesday.
Next week.
Yeah. And yeah, so give us a follow if you haven't already. You'll find out when we go. So we'll be here Tuesday at 9 next week, and to continue the story and find out what happens next. I want to know what happens next. Oh my goodness.
I'm excited.
Scrim, you did an amazing job. Tell everybody
thank you.
where they can where they can see you.
Yeah, well, here I am on the Shadowcasters Network. I'm playing Leverage every other Monday. Usually just every other Monday you'll find me doing something on Shadowcasters, and here for the next following 3 weeks. And then, at Scrimmerva on Twitter. That's about it.
Yeah, do it. Palmer, what's up with you? Got some podcasty stuff going on?
Yeah. So once again, I have been and will continue to be Palmer, and you can find me as the writer, editor, producer of Radio Free Detroit with Ziggy the Troll on Twitter at Ziggy the Troll SR. That's a DA in the middle. And I've got a new project coming up, but I'm not ready to blast it out here. Maybe next week I'll talk about it a bit.
Oh, Ziggy. I've been a fan of the stuff that I've listened to of that, so I think everybody should check that out. I was stalling for time mostly, Joe. I could pop the link down there in the chat for you. Cassie, what's going on? You do some streaming of your own, don't you?
I do. We stream over on Original Box Set. We have going on currently a Deadlands game every other Sunday. Deadlands is like a Weird West adventure. It has Rusty Zimmerman, who also is over here playing Sea of Spears every other Sunday too. So you can swing over and get some action there too. And we have a Numenera game. We are planning to have a Kindreds of the East game beginning in April. That is Eastern and Asian themed. It's basically Vampire the Masquerade, but it's with all like Chinese influence instead of Western influence, and I'm really excited about it. And gosh, I'm trying to remember if there's other things. There's a Numenera game, I already said that, and then there's a couple other things that we're planning that I can't talk about yet. But and good Lord, Star Wars.
Good
my
Lord,
God.
Star Wars.
I can't even. So if anyone has not been keeping up with Original Box Set Star Wars, I feel sorry for you. Go ahead and start watching it. We just finished our 10th thing, and this was the 10th one where we all get to come together as a team. The first 9, each one of us got 3 different sessions for our character backstory. So I'm super excited about getting the team together. It's gonna be great. And you can look at stuff here. There's my website and my Twitch, and I don't know why it did that, but it's at Original Box Set for Twitter social media stuff.
Yeah, I linked it above. So.
Oh, good. So the other thing that I have, and this is my personal thing, do you guys like smelling great?
I'm already I'm on the link for you already.
Good. So I make soap, and you can find me online. I do RPG themed soaps. I'm super excited. You can follow me on my Instagram at Pure Alchemy Soaps. I do. Oh yeah, and there we go. We've got a rogue right here. That's for you guys. And then we got my wizard. So, oh my goodness, it's so exciting. I am actually in the process of a new project. Hopefully, I will be able to actually do a Kickstarter of it in April for gelatinous cube soap.
Oh, I've been following your experiments on Facebook.
And I'm making it all myself by hand, and I've got my recipe down. It's super jiggly, and I plan on having like dice inside of them. So as
Oh
my
you use it, you'll be able to like have this fun thing. Yeah, and so that's
my
my
gosh.
plan. I'm making some prototypes this week, and I'll definitely have them like so people can see them and mess around with them.
Oh
So
my
I'm super-
gosh.
I
That's
know.
so
I'm
good.
super excited.
It's gonna
So
be great.
Great
anyway,
idea.
yeah, that's what I got.
That's awesome. Well,
And thank you, Cole. I appreciate you.
Yeah, we do, of course. So that's really exciting, Cass. I knew about the cubes, but I didn't know you were going to be putting dice in them. That's absolutely outstanding. So I'm Bobby. I'm one of the co-founders here at this Shadowcasters Network thing that you're watching. You can find me on Twitter at GMFunkyTown. And here, I'm also, just like Scrim, doing Leverage on every other Monday here and doing this. So basically, I only play games that Scrim is involved in. So
Yes.
yeah. But yeah, thank you, Palmer, for thanking everyone. Yes, absolutely. Thank you, people. If you haven't followed already, go ahead and follow us on Twitch, and we're on Twitter at SRCasters. And yeah, we'll see you next week to continue the story and see if any more portals get opened.
I literally can't wait. I'm so
Oh,
excited.
it's so fun.
That's good stuff.
I love my dad.
Your dad's great.
It is good. All right, bye everyone.
Goodbye. Thank you, everybody. Good night.